Hello, and we are now live on YouTube and Zoom. You can welcome the participants.
Hello, everyone. Myself, Dr. Jakpreet Singh. I would like to welcome Dr. Harsh Rajdeep sir and Dr. Piyush Jain on behalf of Mansarovar Global University, Department of Physiotherapy. Sir, thank you so much. I'm so glad that within a very short notice, you have accepted our invitation and you have given your precious time. Sir, I would like to give a short introduction of Dr. Harsh Rajdeep and Dr. Piyush sir. Harsh Rajdeep sir is a senior physiotherapist. He is having experience of more than 16 years and he have given a lot of workshops and seminars all over the India, all over the country. And he is also the in charge of Department of Physiotherapy in the government MBS hospital, Kota. He will be taking a session for the secrets of being a successful physiotherapist, and this session will be around 45 minutes, and then we'll have a questionnaire session for 10 to 15 minutes, sir. And I'd also like to welcome Dr. Piyush Jain, sir. Hello, sir. Uh, Dr. Piyush Jain, sir, he's an ex-HOD of Prakash Institute of Physiotherapy, Greater Noida. He is an international instructor for dry needling. He's a founder of Institute of Kinetic Taping, IKT, in India. And he's also the bestseller of two Amazon international books, sir. Congratulations, and I welcome you both, sir.
You're muted. You're muted.
So you are muted. Now you are online, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jakpreet, and it's nice to have Dr. Piyush sir also with us. And he is very famously known as Physio Panda, not only in India, in abroad also. And he's doing tremendous work. It's a pleasure to have him also. And he'll be taking the next session that will be about the dry needling. So please bear with me for the sessions, and then you'll have tremendous session of knowledge. Over to you, Dr. Jakpreet.
Yes, sir. Sir, we also got many questions, sir. And few questions I have already wrote it down. I got it on my mail. Piyush sir, few questions are for you. Harsh sir, few questions are for you.
Okay, sir.
So, I think we will start with the Harsh sir, and meanwhile we'll join with Piyush sir. Thank you, Piyush sir. I know you have to join again, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank
you.
Yes, sir. Harsh sir, you are online, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll just sharing the screen.
Sure, sir.
Sir, kindly enable me to screen share.
Absolutely, yeah. Now you can do it.
Okay. Sir, is it shared? Hello.
It is visible, sir. It is shared, sir.
Okay, sir. So a very good afternoon, all of you. जैसे कि हम बात कर रहे हैं, today is Sunday and 10th of May. I'll be speaking on a topic which is rarely covered, and it is with the kind pursuance of Dr. Jakpreet and Mansarovar University that we are going to discuss on this topic. If I am audible to all of you, just give a chat, yes sir, or you are audible. Just chat, you're audible. Okay. Okay, so very good afternoon, all of you. As the day says, today is Mother's Day, and today is the session regarding being a successful physiotherapist. This session is not only for practitioners, but it is also for the students. And I promise you, for the coming 40 minutes, we'll be going to a session where things are rarely covered. सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं हमारे प्रोफेशन की And to start on a good note, I'll be sharing you one very important fact. I'm sharing with you one very important fact. In a survey conducted over 20,000 people or 20,000 professionals, ये सामने आया है, one of the most satisfying jobs all over the world. Physical therapy or physiotherapy is number 3 in that. One of the most satisfying profession in the world, physiotherapy is number 3 in that. Now you can just imagine and you can just feel proud कि हम किस profession में हैं. And this is what our profession gives us, a feeling of satiety, जिसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं, a feeling, एक तृप्ति की feeling आती है. At the same time, as we are witnessing a very special day today, तो कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि आज माँ का दिन है. मैं तो ये कहता हूँ, कौन सा दिन माँ के बिन है. हमारे लिए हमारी माता, हमारी मदर क्या है? We all understand very much. Why I am including this slide today is the main reason our mother gives us birth, and our mother profession, physiotherapy, feeds us throughout our life. Physiotherapy is our bread and butter. So we have एक जन्मदायिनी हमारी माँ हमारे साथ है और एक कर्मदायिनी फिजियोथेरेपी प्रोफेशन हमारे साथ है. So very good afternoon to all of you with this thing. सबसे पहले हम बात कर रहे हैं कि इस कंसेप्ट की जरूरत क्यों पड़ी. इस कंसेप्ट की जरूरत हमें इसलिए हो रही है, हम जब भी कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं, यू ऑल नो, हम लोग सब कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं और कॉलेज में पढ़ने के दौरान हमारे सामने कई बार ऐसी चीजें आती हैं. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
I am audible. Okay, that's great. तो बहुत सी चीजें हमारे सामने तब आती हैं कि हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं और हमें पढ़ते पढ़ते बहुत सारे साल हो गए. We did our BPT, we did our MPT, and those of you who are very privileged who have taken admission just now. ऐसा कई बार होता है कि हम पढ़ाई बहुत अच्छे से कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब हम फील्ड में आते हैं, आई एम टॉकिंग इन हिंदी सो दैट इट गेट्स कन्वेड टू ऑल ऑफ यू. जब हम फील्ड में आते हैं, हमें फील्ड में आने के बाद लगता है हमने तो बहुत कुछ सोचा था और हमें मन मुताबिक रिजल्ट नहीं मिल रहा है. What I am trying to say is, no doubt, no matter we have studied hard during our graduation, UG or PG times, but when we come out in the field, sometimes we feel we are lost, or how could we establish ourselves? Here comes the main role of the 3 skills. Just a question to all of you, and you can just type in your chat box after that. Have any of you ever noticed when we were studying, some of our friends, they were very good in studies. Might be they have topped the university, but when talking in today's terms, they are not that much successful in their clinical practice. ऐसा होता है? Great, yeah, you are saying it. ऐसा होता है. Ironically, ऐसा भी शायद होता है. There are few students who are not good in studies during the study times, but when they are coming in the field, they are doing tremendous, and their clinic and their academics are going very well. I belong to the second category. Just a matter of joke, I belong to the second category. I was not very good in studies. I was an okay student, somewhat above average. But when coming to profession, we are trying to do well and we have achieved a bit in that. मेरे कहने का मतलब सिर्फ ये है, when we are studying in college, we are acquainting ourselves, we are credentialing ourselves, we are updating ourselves, जिसे हम सिंपल भाषा में कहते हैं कि हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. And to be successful in any field, 3 C's are required. जो आपके स्क्रीन पर आपके सामने है, 3 C's. Those are, first one, clinical expertise, second, commercial skills, and third, customer service. Don't give a laugh or don't give a smile on the word customer service. It's a client or it's a patient service for us. First of all, whatever we have studied during our studies, it comes only in the first C, that is clinical expertise. What about commercial skills? What about customer service? When we are about to establish our department, when we are about to establish our physiotherapy center, when we are about to establish our venture, we are lost sometimes because we not only have to treat patients, we have to take care of the finances, we have to recruit staff, we have to appoint front office people, we have to recruit fourth class staffs, we have to go for website designing, हमें पेशेंट्स का ट्रीटमेंट भी करना है, इलेक्ट्रोथेरेपी भी करना है, एंड वी हैव टू डू ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ वर्क्स, जिसके लिए हमें कभी ट्रेनिंग न दी गई, न हम कभी इंटरेस्टेड हुए. Now we are in a fuss because मेरे को टेक्निक्स तो बहुत सारी आती हैं, पर उन टेक्निक्स को मैं अप्लाई कैसे करूं, मैं तो क्लिनिक खोलने में ही इतना ज्यादा कंफ्यूज हो गया हूं. एंड व्हेन अ पेशेंट इज कमिंग टू मी, आई नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ एवरीथिंग, एंड व्हेन द पेशेंट इज गेटिंग ट्रीटेड, if at all patient is getting benefited, I need to have a testimonial, I need to have a feedback. And if at all is patient is not at all satisfied with our services, or he or she is not getting fully recovered, we need to know that, क्योंकि हमें आगे अपने आप को improve करना है. मेरे कहने का मतलब यही है, क्लिनिकल एक्सपर्टाइज में हम बहुत अच्छे हो जाते हैं सब, पर हमें ध्यान देना है कमर्शियल स्किल्स, कैसे अपने आप को हम मार्केट में स्टैब्लिश करें, हमारी फील्ड में कैसे अपने आप को स्टैब्लिश करें, एंड एट द सेम टाइम हम अपने पेशेंट को सर्विस कैसे दें ताकि हमारे पास नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट्स का फ्लो बढ़ता रहे, हमारा गुडविल बढ़े, एंड हाउ वी शुड improve our revenue and our practice. That is what we have started with these points. I'll be discussing only for the coming half an hour, and you will have some hidden treasure of the points कि किन points पर हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए, because this is a short session, this is just an overview of the skills. Okay, आप सभी से एक छोटा सा question, just type in the chat box. Just type in the chat box. Am I audible, sir? Okay. Just type in the chat box. आप में से कौन कौन एक good physiotherapist है? I think who among you is a good physiotherapist? That's great. 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 Okay, I'm getting many me for that. Now a second question from my point of view. Now a second question. Who among you wishes to be a successful physiotherapist? You also. इसका मतलब there is a difference. There is a difference in the word good and successful. Good is a person who is very well expertise in his field. He knows all the techniques. He is well versed with all the theory, all the practical. He is a good physiotherapist, but that doesn't mean he should be a successful. Successful means whatever you have dreamed of, जो आपने सोचा है, जो आपके दिमाग में था, जो आपके सपने हैं, मुझे इतना कमाना है, क्या हम वहां तक पहुंच पाए? अगर पहुंच पाए हैं तो हम successful हैं. So that means there is a lot of difference between the word a good physiotherapist and a successful physiotherapist. Till we are studying, a good physio will do, but when we are in the field, we have to be a successful physio because we have to thrive, we have to prove ourselves. Okay, so how many of you will be with me for this time? That's good, I'm getting the raising hands, but what I mean to say is, you just be with me for coming half an hour and we'll be discussing some secrets about how to be a successful physiotherapist. Again, you'll be very surprised to listen that in a recent survey conducted not only in India but in abroad countries also, countries whom we say are developed countries, उन countries में भी जब एक survey हुआ तो पता चला more than 90% of the population, they even don't know what a physiotherapist does. एक physiotherapist क्या करता है, क्या ठीक करता है, क्या ट्रीटमेंट करता है, 90% से ज्यादा population को तो पता ही नहीं है. And on a sad note, in a low voice, I'm saying that many of the medical professionals also don't know what a physiotherapist does. If you agree with me, just give a raise hand.
Sir, I would like to interrupt just a while.
Yes, sir.
We have one query that few participants are not from India, so they are not able to understand Hindi. So they are requesting you to please convey in English also, sir.
Okay, sir. I'll convey in English. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So what I mean to say is, in the survey conducted all over the world, 90% more population, they even don't know what is the work of physiotherapist and how physiotherapist can benefit the society. When people don't know what a physiotherapist job profile is, how he or she is beneficial to the society, how they can take care of their ailments, how can they approach us. That means when we are starting our clinic, when we are starting our department, we should not be in an illusion that we have started a very good department, we are knowing very much techniques, and we have a state of art infrastructure, the patients will be flowing to our clinic. No, that's a myth. That's a myth totally. We have to go in our niche, we have to go in our society, we have to go in the areas surrounding our department from where we will get the prospective patients, and we have to tell them about what is the role of physiotherapy. And many of us have been doing, we have been doing through awareness camps, through corporate meetings, through ergonomic sessions, through wellness meets, making spine clubs for awareness of spinal problems, making knee clubs for rehabilitation of knee problems. What I mean to say is, in our society, it is our duty to prove ourselves, to make people know what we are, what we deal with, and how we are beneficial to the society, how we can make them rehabilitate without using any interventional measures, without any surgeries, and without using any pharmaceutical drugs. We have many qualities, but those qualities are till date lying within us. We have to go out in the society and we have to tell. We should not be in an illusion that this is 21st century, people are knowing. No, people are not knowing. Just a simple question to all of you who have joined physiotherapy just now, or who joined some few years back after finishing 12th. How many of us were very much aware about physiotherapy? Yeah, that's good. Many of saying no, because we have heard through someone physiotherapy, or we have seen some physiotherapists, but we ourselves were not knowing. When the time when we were taking admissions, और जब हमने admission लिया, after that only we came to know what is physiotherapy. Now just imagine a labor, a common man who is having no interaction with a physiotherapist, how he or she will be able to understand our role. So first and foremost point, we have to make aware society about our role, what we do and how we rehabilitate. Second point, we have to promote patient decision making. Now what is patient decision making? Just a very simple example. Sometimes we are in our clinic and suddenly we used to have a patient at our clinic. He is known to us, and what he says, Dr. So and so, I'm having this pain and I was thinking to come to you since many days, but I was not able to manage. This happens. Just type in the chat box yes or no. Yes, I'm getting yes. This happens. Or we are in some reception, or we are in some party, and we get a friend of ours and he tells, oh, it's nice to see you. I was having some back problem. I was thinking to meet you, but somehow it didn't happen. It happens many times. Somehow it didn't happen. It is a catch for us. Why a person who's known to me, he's having a problem related to my field, but still he's not approaching me? That means two reasons for that. First, either he's not finding me competent enough that I can deal with his problem, or secondly, he's still in doubt that can physiotherapy alleviate my pain? I'm saying alleviate, not elevate. Can physiotherapy reduce my pain? That means patient decision making is of utmost importance, and we as the physiotherapist have to promote patient decision making. And how we can promote patient decision making is, we can have our testimonials published. Testimonials, in recent past, if we had a patient of low backache, any sort of low backache, and he got recovered from us, we should take a written note from him that I came to this center, I was in this much pain on visual analog scale. After taking such many physiotherapy sessions, I had recovered to this level. And because of the doctor, the physiotherapist, and the team here, I'm very much happy now and I'm free from pain. If this testimonial is there with me, I can circulate it through social media. I can circulate it through my personal or clinic website or through our WhatsApp groups. When a patient or when a person who's having such kind of similar low backache, he comes to see this message, it is most likely he or she will make his decision that this is the right physiotherapist whom I shall approach. So this is also our work, that we should promote patient decision making. Because of the time constraint, I'll be taking the points in a swift manner, but I'm just giving you the hints about those points. Thirdly, the point and the mistake which we commonly do, whenever we are having our setup, our physiotherapy center or our department, or when we are expanding our department, what we see or what we publicize is, I have started, or what we give the ad in newspaper is, we have introduced class 4 laser in our department. Is that so? We have introduced pulse shortwave diathermy in our department. We are having decompression therapy in our department. Is that so? Just give me a message in chat box. Is that so? And we are doing like that. Yes. Good to see the chat. So what happens? We are promoting what services we offer. Just think of the sentence. We are promoting what services we offer. Sometimes we say, ours is the center which gives dry needling. Ours is the center which is very well used to for cupping therapy. We provide state-of-art Maitland exercises and McKenzie regimes. My dear friends and my dear fellow physiotherapists, a patient who's having frozen shoulder, he's not aware of the terms, all of these. What he needs is solution to his problem. And in a simple sentence, if we say we get treated all the frozen shoulder patients here, this is the catch. He'll get the solution. This is the right clinic for a patient like me. I'm using the word frozen shoulder because this word is more familiar for the patient. If we are using the word adhesive capsulitis or periarthritis shoulder, it is not familiar with the patient. When we say, yes, we treat cervical radiculopathy pain, हम cervical की exercises सिखाते हैं जिससे दर्द ठीक होता है. This is it. The patients get attracted and he comes to our clinic. What I'm meaning to say is we should get out through a solution oriented approach for a patient. We should not go for a service oriented approach. Services which we offer, those are to be elaborated in our medical groups or in our medical seminars or conferences or when we are in discussion with our peers. But when we are working for increasing our clinic's patient clientele, we have to go with their terms and we have to sort out strategies which give solution to their problems. So it looks like it's not advertisement of ours. It is solution to their problems. Because of their solution, they are coming to our clinic and we are treating them. We are generating a revenue and our practice is increasing. So we should not be service oriented. We should be solution oriented. You can see this picture. A very good smiling old man with a medical professional, a physiotherapist, looking to someone, and at down, we have a small cute baby girl treating a teddy bear. What is common in this picture is smiles. And that is what the heading says, giving before gaining. In our center, we should not expect patients coming directly and paying to us. Yes, I mind my words. Again, we should not expect patients coming directly to us and paying to us because they have many options. Till the time they don't know that I am very much a state-of-art physiotherapist or a well-versed physiotherapist or a well-proved physiotherapist. Physiotherapists who are proved all over the globe or all over the India, they don't need any introduction. But most of us are not of that level. What I mean to say is, I'll give you a small example. When we are going to purchase a cell phone, obviously might be through online or to a shop. We don't go and we ask the shopkeeper, give me a 4 GB RAM, 126 GB internal memory phone. He gives me the phone and I pay. Does this happen? No. Why this does not happen? Because we go and we tell him our requirement that I need a 4 GB and 126 GB internal memory phone. Then he gives me all the mobile phones which are there according to my requirements. We touch them, we have a look at them, we see their specifications, we see their price limits, then we discuss with him, then we Google it, and only when we are satisfied with the feedback and reviews of a particular phone, we go and purchase it. So how can you expect when we are purchasing a product We are doing that much R&D. When people are coming to allow us to touch them, how can they allow us to touch us without having a knowledge of ours and without having complete faith in us? That is what we should go out for all the medical camps which are honorary. There are many social groups in all the countries, many NGOs in all the countries. Sorry. For example, Rotary, Lions Club, Helpage India, people working for underprivileged. They usually organize people working for hemophiliacs, people working for HIV patients. They organize voluntary camps, free of cost camps for them. We should voluntaries and we should introduce ourselves. Yes, I'll be there. I'll be working free of cost in the camp. This is not a step. This is a step for our betterment. How our betterment? When we are going to the society, we are reaching to the society, we are giving consultation to 100 of people, no doubt free of cost. But if 10 of us get convinced, if 10 of the patients get convinced and they come to your clinic, my dear friends, our clinics patient intake and patient walk is going to increase. So we have to give. Giving means we should go for sometimes voluntary donations. We should go for voluntary services. We should go for free of cost services. And when we are reputed in our society, in our area, then only the patients will be coming us. And always a charity plays a very good part. Selling to serve is the proposition. We should serve. No doubt we are selling our skills, but we should serve first. We should sell our skills and we'll be getting benefited from the remuneration. One very common mistake, which even I did and many of my fellow physiotherapists are doing till today, they are owning their clinic. What does it mean? When we are opening our clinic, we are the HOD, we are the frontline physiotherapist. Sometimes we are the front office person in starting. We are managing our website. I am taking care of the cash. I have to take care of the audits. I am running here and there. Sometimes purchase also I have to look after. What is this going on? Why? Because I am a new to this field. I don't have that much finances. So how can I appoint that many people for a simple department of mine? This is not the case. Whenever we are starting, we should start with minimum recruitment, but we have to do the recruitment so that it stands out that I am a specialized physiotherapist of this center and I have my staffs working for me. Because when we have staffs working for us, we'll be free to take care only of our expertise, our specialty and our physiotherapy field. Rest of the works will done by the subordinates. And when the works are done by the subordinates, we are free to explore more. We are free to upgrade ourselves. We are free to open our chain of departments. This chain will flourish and this will always give a goodwill to our name, to our center's name, and to our field of expertise. That is why it is all that people don't run the systems. It is systems that run the business. If a small physiotherapist is running his clinic, no doubt how good he is running the clinic, he'll be limited to that clinic only. But if he has appointed some people to take care of other works, he may distribute or he may spread with leaps and bounds. So we should develop a system. We should develop a system for our setup. A very common example in a joke, I'm saying. For example, suddenly somebody had a fall at our house, had a fall from stairs, and we are in a doubt that he might have a fracture in his leg. Okay. Now, will we take this family member of ours to a physician? No. Just give me replying in the chat box, yes or no. Will we take him to an ophthalmologist? No. Very good. Will we take him to a gynecologist? No. So we'll take him to an, yes, orthopedician. That means we and all the society are aware about the specialization nowadays. If a person is having a stomach pain, nowadays people are going to gastroenterologist. Pain related to renal problems, obviously nephrologist. That means this is the era of specialization. and we need to specialize ourselves. Here comes the role of PG, what we say MPT, Master's Program in Physiotherapy. It doesn't mean everybody should go for masters. What I'm trying to say is, according to our interest and according to our credentials, we need to specialize ourselves in any of the fields. Might be if I'm interested in sports, I have specialized myself in sports injuries, but somebody is interested in neurophysiotherapy, he can opt for neurotechniques, orthopedic physiotherapy, maternal health, pediatric rehabilitation, and the list goes on and on. Why this happens is because when we are master of one trait, there are more chances of patients coming to us special to those problems, and there are even more chances that we'll be treating those patients better than the other therapist, because we are specialized in that, and we keep on seeing these type of patients. Our specialization, our expertise keeps on improving. My dear friends, nowadays there are orthopedic clinics where even a doctor doesn't see knee pain. He sees only the pain related to ligamentous problems. If a person having osteoarthritis knee comes to that knee clinic, he's referred to other doctor who takes care only of the arthritis pain. So we need to develop the specialization to flourish ourselves and to give a message to the society that this physiotherapist is specialized in these injuries, and so a patient related to these type of problems should approach him. A very good thing. Just on a lighter note, we have delegates from all over the globe today. It's very good. Do you remember Domino's? Yeah, good message in chat. Yes, sir, loving it. Okay. Anybody remembers Coca-Cola? Yes, we remember it. And I'm talking at this point of the day. That means I'm doing bad because everybody is feeling hungry, those who have not taken the lunch like me. What I'm discussing is Domino's was about to be bankrupted some few years back. They just changed their strategy and they flourished, like they expanded to thousands of chains all over the world. What they did? Coming to my Indian fellow physiotherapists, can any cold drink makes us feel brave? Cold drink, my dear friends, not hard drinks, I'm saying. Yes. Yes, there is a cold drink. You are typing no, but there is a cold drink which can make us feel brave. I'm speaking in Hindi. Do we have a commercial? Dar ke aage jeet hai? Yes, Mountain Dew. For those who have given the example of Domino's, Domino's was about to be bankrupted. Then they introduced a caption in their advertisement strategy, and the caption was pizza delivered hot to your home within 30 minutes or else free. Was that there? Yes. And when this caption line came, pizza will be delivered free to your home if it is delayed by more than 30 minutes, the sales of Domino's increased world over. And I don't see, and I don't remember till now they have delivered free to many people, because they deliver within 30 minutes. We had a very good pain relieving balm in our country few years back, and which is coming nowadays in the advanced forms, Iodex. Their punchline was "Ah se aha tak." We have many punchlines. Coca-Cola, open up happiness. That is it. A line, a tagline to our clinic, which conveys to the society that what specialty or what best services they are offering to the society, which others are not offering. I'm repeating. I'm using the word USP. USP is unique selling proposition. In our field, we are not directly selling, we are serving people. So it can be unique selling or unique serving proposition. USP is a point, USP is a punchline for all the physiotherapy centers, which should be attached to their name, so that patients, so that society gets attracted to them whenever they are in the need of physiotherapy. Plus, it gives you an edge over your competitors. For example, I'm having, for example, if I'm having a clinic by the name Relief Physiotherapy Center. Relief is a common word, a good word. Relief Physiotherapy Center. It's okay. There are many clinics in our city. There are many clinics in my city. It doesn't matter. Now, if somebody has written Relief Physiotherapy Center, we make you comfort. We relieve your pain. Is that very catchy? No, it's not very catchy, because most of the physiotherapy centers, they comfort us, they rehabilitate us, they treat us. So what's new in that? A cold drink's punchline is not saying we are giving you a cold drink. They're giving a punchline so that a patient is attracted. A punchline to our center can be, for example, the host is in Bhopal today, so we can share an example of the city Bhopal. If there is a good sports physiotherapy center in Bhopal, their punchline should not be we treat your injuries. Their punchline should be best sports injuries physiotherapy treatment available here. Center of name, run again. The name of the center, run again. And the punchline, best physiotherapy treatment for sports injuries. Now, all those people who are addicted to sports, who are sports people in and around Bhopal, when they are seeing this punchline of the clinic, they are obviously attracted to this clinic. Just for the reason, because they are specifically saying we treat sports injuries, we treat sports injuries in the best possible way, and we make you rehabilitate. So this is the effect. This is the effect of the punchline, and this punchline should always be. This punchline should always be according to your specialty, according to your field of expertise, and it should convey a lot. And it should not be many sentences. It should not be a very, very single line. My dear friends, just in case we have discussed all these, I'll be coming with a nutshell. And now I'm coming on a serious point. We all are suffering home restriction because of COVID. No doubt it's because of the grace of God we all are safe at home, but there are many who are not safe and who have got affected. What I'm trying to say is, in these hours of rest, we have to work on ourselves. We have to work on our specialty. We have to work on our ventures, because the omnipotent, the almighty has given us the time to upgrade ourselves, as the coming times are not at all good for all the ventures. Because when people are struggling for life, how can we expect a queue, a line of patients coming to my physiotherapy department when I'm not directly involved with emergency dealing? So in these times, we need to upgrade ourselves. We have to develop some qualities of ours which others are not having. I'm not saying we have to go for the speed of competition, but what I'm saying is we have to make ourselves better and better every day. And this can be done only when, other than our clinical expertise, we have to work on our commercial skills. We have to work how to develop a patient, client, customer service relation ratio. And we have to take care of the points, that is selling to serve, unique serving proposition, decision making of the patient, and the list like this. Because when we start working on these sort of things, then only our clinics will be flourishing, and we ourselves will be flourishing, plus we'll be able to employ many fellow physiotherapists with us. This is from my end in a brief nutshell. If you have any questions, you can discuss with me.
Thank you, sir. It was a great session. Thank you so much. We have some few questions, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
will ask them one by one to allow to talk. They will directly ask the question.
Yes,
we
sir.
have a question from Balvinder Singh. I'm allowing him to talk. Hello, Balvinder, you can talk. You can ask your question.
No.
Yes, Balvinder, please carry forward.
Sir, I understand English not well, so I question in Hindi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, yes, Balvinder, I'm understanding.
अच्छा सर, मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ भी फिजियोथेरेपी में जैसे अपने स्केल अच्छा बना लिया
जी
तो ओपीडी भी ठीक है,
हम्म।
तो उसको रेगुलेशन में बनाए रखने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
रेगुलेशन मतलब आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
भी जैसे ओपीडी भी ठीक आ रही है,
जी जी जी
पेशेंट रिव्यू नहीं पता लग रहा अभी क्या है, और जो ओपीडी है वो रेगुलेशन में 25-30 की चल रही है,
जी जी जी।
तो उसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए पेशेंट का रिव्यू जानने के लिए?
मतलब आपके यहाँ पेशेंट जो आ रहे हैं वो ठीक हो रहे हैं या नहीं, सेटिस्फाइड हैं कि नहीं सर्विसेज से, आप ये
हाँ,
पूछ रहे हैं?
हाँ जी सर।
Yeah, that's a good question, Balvinder. I'm just answering. For all those who can't understand Hindi, the question from Balvinder is, if his department is running well, he's getting an OPD of around 30 patients a day, but he's not able to find out are the patients benefited from their treatment or is there any complaint? Balvinder, my reply to you is just develop a very small team. Doesn't matter, you appoint some non-physios in your team. Non-physio will take care of the non-physio works. For example, front office. फ्रंट ऑफिस व्हेन अ पेशेंट इज डायरेक्टली कमिंग टू योर क्लिनिक, वहां पे एक छोटा सा फॉर्म उनसे भरवा लिया
ठीक है।
रिगार्डिंग देयर डिटेल्स। ठीक है, उसके बाद आपके पास आ गए, आपने उनको असेस कर लिया, ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट कर लिया। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई विल बी कमिंग डायरेक्टली टू द एग्जाम्पल, अ केस ऑफ पेरियाथराइटिस शोल्डर। वेरी फर्स्ट डे आइदर यू और अ जूनियर फिजियो इन योर सेंटर टुक द रेंज ऑफ मोशन देख लिया आपने उनकी, शोल्डर की अवेलेबल रेंज ऑफ मोशन क्या है। After 3 sessions in your department, if you again take the range of motion, I am very sure there is improvement in the range of motion, and you can show the same to the patient that your shoulder
ओके सर।
flexion was, sir, 90 degree, now it is 110 degree. That means we are in a right direction and you can continue. In this way, two advantages are there. First of all, you as a physiotherapist are getting happy, you are getting satisfied that my treatment is working. समझ रहे हैं बलविंदर?
हाँ जी सर, आई अंडरस्टैंड।
एंड सेकेंडली, पेशेंट को भी लग रहा है कि मेरा हाथ पहले इतना उठता था, अब मेरा हाथ इतना उठने लगा है, तो उससे दोनों का कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ता है। और इससे तीसरी चीज जो सबसे अच्छी होती है, जो हम सोचते नहीं है, जब वो पेशेंट बाहर जाएगा, नो डाउट ही विल कम्युनिकेट टू 10 पीपल दैट आई वाज सफरिंग फ्रॉम दिस पेन. No doubt, I am still 50% recovered, but my recovery has started. So if any of you is having a problem related to this, you contact Dr. Balvinder. So in that case, he's promoting your clinic by paying you. Otherwise, what we are doing, we are paying to some advertisement agencies, and then also patients are not coming. A patient is a person, he pays you and he promotes your clinics if he's satisfied with you. Thank you, Balvinder.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Balvinder. Sir, we have another question from Naika Das Adhikari. I am allowing her to ask you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Naika, you can ask your question now.
Yes, Naika, please.
I think she is not there, sir.
Okay, sir. Anyone else?
Yeah, we have few questions, sir.
Please.
We have Radhe Agrawal, sir. He is also raising his hand. I will like to ask him. Radhe, you are online. You can ask question.
Good afternoon, Radhe. Please carry forward. I think Radhe has to unmute, sir.
I have unmuted him, sir.
Radhe, any other, sir?
Yes, sir. We have one more. We have Nikita. She is also raising her hand. Nikita, if you are there, you can ask your question.
Yes, Nikita. Sir, she also has to unmute.
No, sir. They have not.
From their end, I think.
From their end, I think I have unmuted them. We have Dr. Meghna Pandey also, sir. I would like to ask her if
Yes,
she's...
Meghna ma'am, welcome, please.
Hello, Dr. Meghna. She there?
So we have some Mr. Sheesh Paul. He also wants to ask a question if he can communicate. He has repeatedly messaged me on chat box 3 or 4 times.
Who, sir?
Mr. Sheesh Paul.
Sheesh Paul. I'll just see if he's there.
And Dr. Wasim Sheikh.
Dr. Wasim Sheikh is there. I'll ask him to join, sir.
Piyush sir, I'm getting good questions regarding dry needling. So it will be a good session for you, sir.
Wasim, Dr. Wasim, you are online. If you can ask question to...
Yes, Wasim ji, please.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to know. Good afternoon, first of all.
Ah,
So
good
I just
afternoon, Vaseem.
wanted to know, sir, like as a physiotherapy student,
Yes.
how we can make people aware about the physiotherapy. Like I heard many people that they don't know about they don't know anything about physiotherapy. So as a physiotherapy student, how we can improve our field, how we can improve our profession, and how we can make people aware about the physiotherapy field, sir.
Very good question, Vaseem. Where are you presently, in which city?
I'm in Bangalore, sir. I'm basically from Mumbai, but I'm studying in Bangalore.
Bangalore. And which year, Vaseem?
I'm in BPT second year right now, sir.
Vaseem, you are in the one of the pioneer city of India regarding physiotherapy.
Yes, sir.
And we all have many of our seniors and friends from Bangalore, pan India.
Yes,
The
sir.
best part, your question is how we can make people aware.
Yes, sir.
You are in second year. Your
Yes, sir.
friend circle or your society,
Yes,
you
sir.
can just, you might be having some IPL sort of tournaments in your college or in your colony.
Yes, sir.
Cricket tournament, volleyball tournament, soccer tournaments.
Yes,
You
sir.
can just go on with your friends, ask one of your teachers that can you accompany us as a physiotherapist, go to that club, make all the players start training and do stretching with you under the supervision of your teacher.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, within 15 to 20 days, they'll be having a huge respect regarding physiotherapy, those who are not aware. And in a
Yes,
city
sir.
like Bangalore, when you just ignite a spark, the fire is going to be there because physiotherapy needs no introduction in a city like Bangalore. So you
Yes,
can do
sir.
very well there.
Yes,
This
sir.
is just an example.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am. Hello, Jakpreet sir. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Thank
I
you so
think-
much, sir.
I think
Thank you, Vaseem.
Nikita is there.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please, you're audible.
Hello, sir. This is Dr. Nayanika here.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
So actually, I wanted to ask. I have recently completed my bachelor's in physics. So my question to you is: would you like to give a piece of advice to people like us who have just completed their education? So what right direction? Like, how do we take the correct decision henceforth? Because this is the time where we actually have to build a career because we step into the outside world. So if any piece of advice for us to make correct decisions at point of time.
Nainika, very good question. And this reminds me of the fact that how lost we were when we finished our bachelor. जब हम लोगों ने
Yes.
पढ़ाई पूरी की,
Ex-
we were like, अरे यार पढ़ाई पूरी हो गई, अब तो मजा आ गया. And how responsible you are that you are finishing of your career right now. A very good question. And my answer will be to all those who have just finished. See, whenever we have finished, we should straight away keep it in our mind. Are we interested in academics or we are directly going to go in clinical? Again, if we are interested in academics, we should opt for higher studies as per your interest of field, whatever fields are there. I have discussed in my presentation also. And higher studies doesn't mean MPT always. Higher studies mean fellowship also. Higher studies means a dedicated program in a particular technique. You can do it in India also nowadays, and you can go abroad all over the globe. Doesn't mean you have to go for MPT. If you're going for MPT, it's well and good. But if you're going for a 6-month diploma or 18 months diploma also to some country, that is very fruitful. Secondly, if at all due to some financial constraints or you're not at all interested in going for higher studies, you can select an area, and that requires a lot of study of that area to start up your practice. Or what I would say is you start working under a well-renowned physiotherapist of your area. At the starting of the career, remuneration or salary doesn't matter for few time. When you're working under a very reputed, very renowned physiotherapist, you'll be learning all the things which I have told other than clinical expertise. You will be developing a customer relation. You will be knowing how to go for commercial skills, and at the same time, you will be working under his or her patronage. That means you're not directly responsible for the patient. And when you feel you're confident enough, you have learned a lot, you can step into your own venture. And that venture can again be an individually yours, or 2 or 3 of your friends. You can combine again one specialty of ortho, one specialty of sports, one of maternal health, and you can start a holistic, multi-dimensional physiotherapy center at your place. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Sir, we have one question from Ruchi Sood madam from Bhopal.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, We wrote a question, sir.
Ruchi Sood, ma'am. Sir, can you just say the question?
Read it out, sir.
Can we listen her, sir? Because her question needs her voice.
There are a lot of people who are there who are ready to speak. Balwinder Singh, can you please speak?
Balwinder asked the question, sir. Yeah.
Already asked. Then who else? There are many people.
Can we have Dr. Ruchi Sood online, sir?
So she's not online right now.
Dr. Grishma.
Okay.
Dr. Grishma Kothari.
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dr. Grishma Kothari.
जी.
My question is that अगर हम कोई नई जगह पे क्लिनिक सेटअप करने का सोच रहे हो तो प्राइमरीली एज अ फिजियोथेरापिस्ट हमें कौन सी बातों का ख्याल रखना चाहिए?
बस इतना सही है मैडम क्वेश्चन?
Yeah, it is a totally unknown city for us because I am moving on out of country within 2 or 3 months. That's why.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. So you are going abroad after 2-3 months.
Yeah, USA.
अच्छा. And you have done your BPT or MPT also?
BPT. BPT.
मैम सबसे पहले ओके मैम सबसे पहले तो जब आप जा रहे हैं ना यूएसए, उससे पहले इंडिया का सारा काम कर लें. आपके कॉलेज से, व्हाट आई मीन टू से इज, आपके कॉलेज से आपके सारे सिलेबस, ट्रांसक्रिप्ट्स, क्रेडेंशियल्स, लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन, ये सारी चीजें आप कर लें ताकि आपको वापस इंडिया इन छोटे से कामों के लिए ना आना पड़े. मैंने सिर्फ 3-4 नाम लिए, ऐसे बहुत सारे काम होते हैं, आप आपके सीनियर से पूछ सकते हैं. सेकेंडली, ये सारे डॉक्यूमेंट जब आपके पास होंगे और जब आप यूएस जाएंगे तो वहां पे जिस भी स्टेट में आप जा रहे हैं, जैसे हमारे इंडिया में स्टेट्स हैं, ऐसे यूएस में 50+ स्टेट्स हैं. आप जिस स्टेट में जा रहे हैं, हर स्टेट का अपना अपना रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस और फिजियोथेरेपी की बॉडी है. उस बॉडी में आप पता करें कि इस स्टेट में प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए क्या क्या एलिजिबिलिटी है. फिर आप चेक करें आप क्या क्या पूरा कर पा रहे हैं, और जो जो चीजें हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, you don't feel bad. Even MPTs from our country have to do bridge course, have to go for credentials. हमें वो सब करने होते हैं. पहले हम उनके लेवल में आ जाएं, फिर हमें वहां का शायद एक लाइसेंस एग्जाम देना होगा जो हम पास कर लेंगे, बिकॉज हमारे इंडिया का बीपीटी इतना अच्छा है कि हम एग्जाम बाहर के भी पास कर लेते हैं. वो एग्जाम जब आप पास कर लेंगे फिर डेफिनेटली आप वहां पर काम कर सकते.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
थैंक यू. Any other question? Yes, Ayushi Maheshwari, please. We have a question from Roshni Kukreja. She's saying, what would you say when patients say physiotherapy gives placebo effect and there is no long-term effect provided by physiotherapy? Very good question, Roshni. Even we have been facing till date these type of terms, and you will be surprised to know कि patient से ज़्यादा ये medical professionals का word है. Placebo effect होता है, physiotherapy से कोई फायदा नहीं होता है. As I discussed with Balwinder just 5 minutes back, कि जब हम पेशेंट को 3 सेशंस के अंदर रिजल्ट दिखा देते हैं कि आपकी रेंज ऑफ मोशन 90 से बढ़ के 110 हो गई है या 120 हो गई है, यू कांट कॉल इट अ प्लेसिबो इफेक्ट. प्लेसिबो इफेक्ट मेनली कब यूज में आता है? जब हम सिर्फ इलेक्ट्रोथेरेपी मोडालिटीज यूज कर रहे हैं. और प्लेसिबो इफेक्ट इज देयर फॉर सम मोडालिटीज इफ वी आर नॉट यूजिंग देम अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर dosage. If we are using according to their dosage and we are avoiding overdose, there is no placebo sort of thing. तो हमें हर चीज का डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रखना होगा. जब पहले दिन हमारे पास पेशेंट आया, उसका पेन का कंडीशन क्या था, उसका रेंज ऑफ मोशन क्या था, उसका मसल वेस्टिंग क्या था, जॉइंट स्टेबिलिटी कितनी थी, मसल स्ट्रेंथ कितनी थी. अगर हमने ये सब पहले दिन कर लिया अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज और हर लेवल, एंड आफ्टर 5 days अगेन इफ वी आर रिव्यूइंग और हमें एक भी चीज में बेटर मिल रहा है, इसका मतलब हमारा ट्रीटमेंट काम कर रहा है. एंड विद अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम, विद एक्सपीरियंस, हम लोग खुद ही डिजाइन करते जाते हैं विच टेक्निक्स आर वर्किंग गुड फॉर व्हाट पेशेंट एंड विच टेक्निक्स आर वर्किंग लेस. सो प्लेसिबो इज नॉट अ वर्ड नाउ डेज. प्लेसिबो पहले यूज होता था, और प्लेसिबो उनके लिए होता है जिनको नहीं आता है. जिनको आता है वो प्लेसिबो से नहीं करते. थैंक यू
Sir.
Yes.
So my name is Ritik Tikle. I'm from Bhopal. So when
Yes.
I want to ask a question that is there any other option than clinics? So it is compulsory to have a clinic?
No, sir. It is not at all compulsory. Are you interested in academics? No, I think.
Sir.
If you're interested in academics, you can go for higher studies. Plus, आपने ergonomics का नाम सुना है?
No, sir. Still no.
अच्छा, ठीक है. Ergonomics जिसमें हम प्रोफेशन रिलेटेड, ऑक्यूपेशन रिलेटेड लोगों के साथ उनकी हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स को डील करते हैं. आपके एरिया में या आपके भोपाल में बहुत सारे स्कूल्स होंगे ऋतिक.
Yes,
अगर
sir.
आप स्कूल्स में ही स्टडी करें कि बैक के वजन के कारण कितने बच्चों को गर्दन में या कमर में दर्द आ रहा है, या बिकॉज ऑफ द यूजेज ऑफ स्मार्टफोन इवन इन आवर फिजियोथेरेपी कम्युनिटी नेक प्रॉब्लम्स कितने लोगों को हो रही हैं, और उसके लिए हम क्या एक्सरसाइज पैटर्न डेवलप कर सकते हैं कस्टमाइज टू ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा स्टेप होगा. कुछ लोग कर रहे हैं पर हम में से बहुत से लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं. मैं सिर्फ आपको विजन दे रहा हूं कि आप क्या क्या कर सकते हो. आप सिर्फ ये देख सकते हो कि पोस्ट कोविड, ये कोरोना के कारण जो हम सब घर पर बैठे हैं, इसके कारण वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स में बॉडी पैरामीटर्स में कितना चेंज आ गया बिकॉज ऑफ देयर सिटिंग आइडल, और इसके कारण उनकी एफिशिएंसी कितनी कम हुई है. नो डाउट ये एक रिसर्च तरह का टॉपिक लग रहा होगा आपको, लेकिन आप
Yes,
अपने
sir.
किसी भी सीनियर या टीचर की मदद से इस तरह की स्टडी कर सकते हैं. और जब आप इस तरह की कुछ स्टडीज करते हैं और उनमें से एक भी स्टडी अगर किसी रेप्यूटेड जर्नल में पब्लिश होती है, आप हम सबसे बहुत आगे निकल जाते हो. बिकॉज पीपल हु आर डूइंग R&D, पीपल हु आर डूइंग रिसर्च इन एनी फील्ड, दे आर रिस्पेक्टेड एवरीवेयर. और अगर आप इस उम्र में ये सब स्टार्ट करोगे तो नो डाउट आप बहुत आगे तक जा सकते हो.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू. हेलो, आर वी डन?
Hello. Good
Yes, sir.
afternoon, sir.
गुड आफ्टरनून.
Sir, this is Sharik Aziz.
यस शारिक.
Yes, sir. I'm pursuing BPT from LN Medical College. My question is that, sir, apart from academic, हमें ऐसा क्या करना चाहिए अपने अंदर, क्या बिल्टअप करना चाहिए जो कि हमारे फिजियोथेरेपी फील्ड में हमें आगे काम है. ये 4 साल तो सर हम बेसिकली एकेडमिक पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं, लेकिन सर इस 4 साल में हम इसी 4 ईयर में क्या क्या अपने अंदर बिल्ड करना चाहिए ताकि हमें आगे इसका बहुत बेनिफिट.
शारिक, मैं चाह रहा था इस तरह का क्वेश्चन मुझसे कोई पूछे, बिकॉज जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं बीपीटी के, नाउ यू कैन वेरी वेल टेल मी देयर आर सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक फंक्शनल असेसमेंट एंड आउटकम मेजर्स, ठीक है, क्लिनिकल रिहैबिलिटेशन, पेशेंट क्लाइंट रिलेशनशिप, फिजियोथेरेपी एथिक्स. ये कुछ ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो हम नोट्स के तौर पर पढ़ते हैं. मेरे सीनियर ने मुझे नोट्स दिए, मैंने उसकी फोटोकॉपी करा के मेरे जूनियर को दिया, एग्जाम में लिखा और पास हो गए. And these are the subjects which are of utmost importance when you come in the field. What you are asking is, apart from academics, how can we develop ourselves? We can develop our commercial skills. We can develop our soft skills. Soft skills means techniques other than the technical skills, other than the clinical skills. हम में से बहुत से लोग टेक्निक सीख रहे हैं, but a patient will be coming to your center only when he knows that you are what you are treating. I'm very well acquainted with all the techniques, but if a patient is not coming to my clinic, what is the use of those techniques? We should devise methods, जो मैं discuss कर रहा था. We should have all those measures that a patient is getting attracted to my center or my department, is coming in touch with me, and apart from physiotherapy, he's getting a psychological counseling from me, he's getting a moral boost from me, he's getting a trust in me, so that once he gets benefited इन सारी qualities के कारण वो औरों को भी बताएगा और मेरे को बाकी patients भी मिलेंगे. I think Sharik, this is in nutshell what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm from Bangalore. I'm a third year student, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, it's like not good for a physiotherapist to tie up with an orthopedic doctor and work under his clinical setup.
Ma'am, you're asking or are you telling?
Sir, I'm telling because I see every day when I'm going on roads, it will be always with orthopedic doctor. Under that, they will be writing chiropractic, physiotherapist. Like,
Yes,
how
ma'am.
to tackle, sir? How to practice alone?
Ma'am, I'll just give you an example in short, and then I'll tell you how to deal with those senior orthopedicians. Once the prescription comes to you that start with shortwave dithermy, SWT, ठीक है? You feel bad that how can he or she tell me what to do for the treatment? You just write on the prescription, sir, with due respect, kindly tell me what method of shortwave dithermy application. Should it be coplanar, contraplanar, or cable field method? What should be the duration? What should be the mode, whether it should be plain SWT or pulse SWT? Kindly guide, sir. Now, no orthopedician knows what is the dosage of SWT. And he should not know, because we as a physiotherapist, definitely we study surgery, but we don't do surgeries, and we should not do surgeries. In the same way, orthopedicians also know about physiotherapy, but they are not there to prescribe physiotherapy, or they are not there to do physiotherapy. So when prescriptions like this come to us, we could challenge them in a respectable way. And when they ask, what do you mean by this? Sir, what I mean to say is short-wave diathermy was not helpful in this case. I think we should have gone for MWD microwave diathermy. And because we are not having in this center, sir, this is my suggestion, we purchase an MWD. Meanwhile, we'll start with the manual therapy of this patient, and I will show you the result within 6 days. When you are starting with a technique and showing the result to the orthopedician in 5-6 days, definitely he or she gets convinced. What I'm trying to say is we should not go straight away and try to fight or quarrel with senior people. We have to deal in a diplomatic way.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Ayushi Maheshwari. I am student of BPT third year.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I want to ask that how much it is important to get a degree from a well-known or a big university to study bachelor's or master's in order to get a good job.
Ma'am, what you are trying to ask is, please.
Sir, I want to ask that is it important to get a degree from a very big, well-known university to study bachelor's or master's in order to get a good job?
Ma'am, you are a student or you are a physiotherapy practitioner?
Sir, I am a student of BPT third year.
Okay, ma'am. I'm not asking you from which institute you are because your question doesn't allow me to do so. But what I'm trying to say is, wherever you are opting for studying your UG or PG, don't think that it should be a superb university. What you should inquire is, how are the faculties there? How are the teachers there? How is the infrastructure there? If the teachers are very good, it doesn't matter if a university or if a campus is not that good, that will work. But if teachers are good, that will give outstanding students. I'll give you a small example. We call SV Nirtar, Swami Vivekanand National Institute of Rehabilitation, Therapy and Research, Cuttack, Odisha. One of the best institutes of India, we call it. And when students are coming out from there, they only tell that it is in a very rural setup. The infrastructure is good, but not that good according to some compared to some other universities. But madam, you will be surprised to know all the big shots, all the innumeraries of our country, most of them are from this university. For example, we have Deepak Kumar sir, Capri. We have Sanjeev Kumar Jha sir. We have Jagmohan Singh sir. We have AGK Sinha sir. So institute doesn't mean from the campus. It means from the faculties which are teaching there. I think you might be convinced. Hello. Pleasure, Ayushi. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is उमे आतका. I am from एलन सिटी भोपाल. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि बहुत सारे लोग आज के डेट में फिजियोथेरेपी को MBBS से इतना ज़्यादा कंपेयर करने लगे हैं कि नहीं, दिस इज़ नॉट अ गुड कोर्स, यू हैव टू चूज MBBS. तो सर इस चीज़ के लिए हम उन लोगों को किस तरीके से आंसर दे सकते हैं?
Compared to MBBS, you are saying?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, what I am trying to say is, आज हमारे घर में भी कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, if somebody is having any sort of pain or he or she is feeling ill, हम लोग भी अब किसी MBBS plain डॉक्टर के पास नहीं जाते हैं. We try to go for a specialized person. We try to go for an orthopedician, neuro, gastro, nephro. That means whatever patient problem is there, we try to approach a specialist. That means what I'm trying to say is, if a person is plain MBBS, to be specialized, he needs to go for 3 more years of study. And in a present scenario, getting admissions in PG, that too after MBBS, is next to impossible. So that means he have to take 1 year drop after MBBS. Then he needs to go for 3 years of study. And if he wishes to specializes in subjects like neuro or in nephro, he needs to go for super specialization, which is called as DM or MCH. That means he needs to go for studies for around 11 years. After 11 years also, he will just start his practice from square one, zero. That means he'll take another 5 years to establish himself as a respected specialist. Coming to the field of physiotherapy, when physiotherapy field is there, after 5 years, you are a physiotherapist. Till date, in smaller cities of India, there is not a culture that people ask for a specialized orthophysiotherapist or people ask for a specialized neurophysiotherapist. People just search for a physiotherapist. That means if you are just a plain BPT, you can start up your venture, and after 5 years, you can start your practice. And within 3 to 4 years, if we are capable enough, we can establish ourselves. And universities like MGU, Mansarovar Global University, and many universities are coming up. Like MGU, they have that much good campus that students who are studying from these universities, they can take help of the faculties and they can flourish anywhere they want.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sir, I passed BPT this year from Bundelkhand University.
Congratulations,
And
ma'am.
yes, and I'm topper from our department. Now my intern will started after Corona. So
Okay, ma'am.
I will ask you, sir, that I am from general category. Very
Okay.
less government job in this field. If I set up my clinic, where you will prefer, in town area or a city area?
Ma'am, where are you from?
I'm from Varanasi.
See, it should be very clear that where do you want yourself 5 years from now? Because at this point of time, when you have finished your BPT, it should not be like, sir, I want to settle for 1 or 2 years. No, you have to think keeping a larger frame of mind. If you wish to settle in a metro city, you have to go there. You have to work with some reputed clinics for a few time to get acquainted with the work culture, because even in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, all of them are metro, but the work culture and the physiotherapy culture is very much different in all these cities. You need to study the physiotherapy practice of that city. But what I'll try to say is, in comparatively smaller cities like Varanasi, comparatively smaller cities in UP like other cities, there is a much larger scope of your name being flourished, because you don't have that much big names in these sort of cities. And because being in a smaller city, your name spreads faster, you'll get more number of patients. No doubt the remuneration is comparatively less in these type of cities, but once you have an experience of that many patients, you can very well switch to bigger cities whenever your future or whenever your conditions permit. Yes, ma'am. Okay, sir. Any other questions, sir?
Yes, so we have one question from 24158 is his ID. I would ask if you please ask your question and your name.
Prashaddi Jain is asking.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Sir, myself Prasiddhi Jain. I'm from Ellen Medical College. I'm pursuing BPT first year.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, आफ्टर फर्स्ट ईयर अगर आप कहीं क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं तो क्या ये ठीक रहेगा या फिर हमें अपने थ्योरी पोर्शन पर ही ध्यान देना चाहिए?
Ma'am, I'm not aware about your syllabus, but what I mean to say is all the 5 core subjects, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology, pathology, microbiology, जब आप ये बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ चुके हैं, then our physiotherapy core subjects, electrotherapy, exercise therapy. When you have studied all these subjects, kindly start observership under your faculties in OPDs or in hospitals attached to your college. When you are going to these sort of postings, obviously under supervision of your faculties, you will learn how to deal with the patients, how to study their case reports, and how to start the treatment. I'm not saying you start the treatment, you just go for observership. Once you are in your third year and final year, you will be allowed to touch the patient and you will be allowed for the intervention measures under the supervision of your faculty. Why I'm repeatedly saying under is, it is not important to be independent at that much early point of time. This is your time to learn things, because once you have finished your bachelor's program, there is nobody going to teach you. So as much as you have the supervision, you should understand and you should take advantage of them. Once you have finished, you're free to go to any of the hospitals of your personal liking. Thank you. Hello. Are we done?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We are not taking any more questions, sir, as Piyush sir is there.
Yes,
He's
sir.
having a session after this.
Ha, ha, ha.
And so there's last question. Dr. Jagdish Jaiswal is writing. He's asked, my question is, in this pandemic situation, how
Yes,
can
sir.
we give our services to the COVID patients?
In this pandemic situation, how can we give our services to COVID patients?
Yes, sir.
That means you directly wish to enter the COVID wards of all the hospitals. I think like this. And sir, in these times, I'm still working with a government hospital. In these times, it's good to be safe until and unless an emergency service from physiotherapy is required. The physiotherapists who are working with the COVID patients, they are with a huge lot of risk. Few days before, we had some mishappening also in our physiotherapy community. Everybody remembers that. Even then also, if you wish to go and treat COVID patients, my guidelines will be with you is kindly consult a very good cardiopulmonary physiotherapist, take advice from them, then give your written consent, and then only you should enter the COVID premises. Otherwise, there is a lot of scope to prepare ourselves in these COVID times at home for our physiotherapy practice. Because ऐसा टाइम कभी नहीं मिलता है जब आपके पास सुबह से रात तक सोने खाने और सिर्फ पढ़ने के लिए हो. So we have a lot of work to do, and if possible, if we have a next session, we'll be talking on some strategy. How should a physiotherapist cope up after the post-COVID situation? So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Definitely, sir, we would like to have your session for the COVID patients, sir. And we will give some time to the student to ask questions. There are a lot of questions that the students are asking. Thank you so much, sir. This was a great session.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure being with MVGU, Dr. Jagpreet, and it's quite delighted to see Piyush sir, and Piyush sir is coming with different get-ups daily. So it's all over to you, Piyush sir. Okay. Hello.
Sir, sir, sir.
You, sir, you are up.
Yes, sir. Please, please, please. So can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Please, please, sir. We're waiting for you.
Okay. Thanks, Dr. Harsh, for taking 15 minutes of my time, as always. that's why I always try to keep my lecture before you, because I know you that like you can go on the stage, then it is very difficult for us to bring you back, because your sessions are always so interesting.
Apologies, sir. Apologies.
So, sir, no need to apologize. I will send my account number to you. You can send the apology amount to that account. No issues. Okay, so guys, good afternoon and good evening, everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank Mansarovar Global University, the administration of this Mansarovar Global University group, for organizing this such a good webinar, where we have so much renowned Dr. Harsh Radip sir, who has taken a very nice lecture, and maybe he has sorted some of my queries also. And thank you, Dr. Jagpreet sir, the head of Department of Physiotherapy, that he thought that I am that much worthy to host a webinar and to come and share my knowledge, whatever I have. So, sir, before starting my topic, I would like to continue the talk what the Harsh Radip sir was taking. And many people ask, we are done with DPT, so what is next? What is next? And people think that we are not worthy. So I'll tell you that it's been like around 12 years in the field for me. And starting 4 years of my life, I started as a clinician, and I was a complete failure. And I have no shame in telling you that I was a complete failure in running a clinic. To understand what a professional, what is the difference between a professional and a therapist, because therapist is a person who basically treats, and the professional is the person who basically runs the clinic. There is a huge difference between both of them. And it took me around 2 more years to come in the field back to explore my areas that can I go into academics, should I continue with the clinic. And at the last, now basically I'm working in academics as well as I'm running 2 clinics. So guys, don't lose hope. It's always better to have a idol with you. I have my idol like who taught me in my bachelor, Dr. Joginder Yadav. He had made me the man I am today. He slapped me also, he kicked me also, he abused me also, but that is all his love. I truly said that unless you respect your teachers, you will not reach wherever you want to. Parents and teachers, this is why I'm telling you, I can start with my topic, but I have seen that nowadays students are not giving that respect what we used to give. It's not about the university or the college, it's about the ethics, it's about the, the what we say, the knowledge you gain from them, and you have to pay equal respect to them. So that is very important. So with the kind permission of the chair, I would like to start my presentation on dry needling. Sir?
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Okay, sir, I'll be sharing a small PPT and then I'll be open for question answers. I'm really sorry I'm not good with this. So if something happens, just let me know. Okay, sir, can you see anything? Like, can you see my screen?
No, sir, not now.
Okay. Now you can see my screen, sir?
Yes, sir. We.
Okay. So let me go to the slide. I'm very sorry with this. Okay, sir. Is my PPT open now?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So guys, I'm Piyush Jain. Right now I'm pursuing my PhD. I was ex-HOD of one college and ex-principal of one college. And I have taken more than 200 workshops around India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. And author of 2 books, Manual of Kinesiology Taping and Manual of Dry Needling. And Dry Needling was one of the best selling book that I have wrote. With I will say that I have wrote all these books, and all my success, everything goes to my parents and specifically my wife, because this is a quarantine time. I have to take name of my wife because maybe she is watching at home on YouTube. So it's very important to take the name of the spouse. Okay, so dry needling, whenever we start with a topic, it's very crucial for us to understand that there should be some questions when we talk about medical science. So first question what strikes to everybody minds is what is dry needling. The second question, because we are using something pokey, we are putting some needle kind of thing inside the body, so everybody think that it is a kind of acupuncture thing we are doing, and everybody is quite familiar with acupuncture. So the next question when it comes to acupuncture, is it Chinese? Because acupuncture, the origin of TCM, the traditional Chinese medicine, is basically from China. So what people think that even the dry needling has come from China. Next question what arises in our mind, is it unscientific? Do we have any scientific basis behind the therapies, what we are doing, the dry needling basically? And last is the placebo. I think Dr. Okay, so the last is the placebo. I think Dr. Harsh Rajdeep also told about the placebo. So placebo, when we talk about the pain model, BPS pain model, that is biological, social, and psychological pain model. Even the placebo plays an important role. But you should be thorough enough to understand when you need to give placebo and when you need to give therapeutic. It is very, placebo is one of the things which has a great importance in therapeutic value. So placebo is not only not giving this the result to the patient, but we use placebo to give results to the patient when we try to play with the psychology of the patient. So don't take placebo as a wrong thing. It is a very good thing for any clinician as per that matter. So the answer to this question is, first, is it acupuncture? Because it has, like, I'll say the father of dry needling, I'll call it as Jan Domerhold. He has given many researches. He has written many books. In 2001, he has given, it is an acupuncture from a physical therapy perspective. Trigger point dry needling has no similarity with traditional acupuncture. So from where it came from the Britishers, like Dr. Clairgon. It came from Canadians, Dr. Changan. It came from other Western world like Peter Baldry. They have given very good researches to validate what is dry needling and why it is an acupuncture. So basically, it comes from anesthetists. So where like anesthetists run pain clinic, what they do with the trigger points or the painful point, they inject. They inject maybe the saline, they inject maybe the steroids, they inject maybe the anesthetic agent to get some results. And the researchers have found that at the end of the day, whatever you are injecting, the results are same. So you must be knowing Dr. Janet and Travels. If you want, you can search them. There are two volumes of books they have written. very nice books they have written on trigger point. Basically, they have given the concept of trigger point. So they found that even a normal needle, if we take a syringe and we just take the needle and put the needle inside a trigger point, or as we call it as a hypersensitive tissue, it gives inhibitory effect. So that was the base of dry needling, that yes, we are inserting a needle, but we are not inserting the needle anywhere. We are inserting a needle at a point which has been diagnosed, which has been palpated, which has been assessed thoroughly, and then we are giving the needle. Regarding the scientific value, we have even the Cochrane reviews. These are the highly prestigious reviews, you know. These are systemic reviews where they had validated dry needling. It is not a placebo because there are many researches. The researches are till the biochemical level. I'll be showing 2 or 3 results maybe. So they are at the biochemical level, at the neuromuscular junction level. So we have good amount of researches. We have shown what are the literally physiological effects. So like when we talk about the researches, there are some clinical researches which says that, okay, the result is there or result is not there. So they don't talk about is it a placebo, is it not a placebo? They just talk about the result. The second research is which tells you what is happening with the modality, right? So we have many researches. So what is deep dry needling? So as per Dr. Jan Domerholt, he said that monofilament needle inserted into a targeted tissue like skin, fascia, or a trigger point, which do not involve at all any wet substance like trigger point injection, is called as deep dry needling or dry needling. So it is also called as trigger point dry needling. It is also called as intramuscular manipulation or mobilization. So there are many words, which which can describe dry needling, but as the name suggests, dry needling is dry and needle. When you are putting a needle without any medication inside a body, inside a targeted tissue, it is called as dry needling. So what are the types of dry needling? We have 3 types basically. We have superficial dry needling, we have deep dry needling, we have facial dry needling. So these different type of dry needling basically used in different type of conditions, different type of patients, different type of results what we need from the patient. And one more thing I wanted to add before going to the subject. This is very important when we talk about any technique for everyone as a physiotherapist, to understand that what is the difference, what is the major difference between a technique and a treatment. So basically technique is just a modality, technique is just a skill what we possess. Okay, so basically techniques are patient therapist specific, whereas the treatment is gonna be the patient specific. Means if I'm saying that dry needling is used for trigger point release, before dry needling also we used to treat trigger points, that doesn't make dry needling far better than any other modality. And dry needling will never be called as a treatment. Means if patient is coming to me for suppose a shoulder pain, maybe a supraspinatus tendonitis, maybe a bursitis, uh, right? So if I'm just giving dry needling to the person and the pain is relieved, that is not called as a treatment, that is called as a modality. I'm just using one modality to get pain relief, for maybe for as a short-term goal, maybe as a long-term goal, but that is not called as a treatment. So it's very important for you guys to understand that dry needling is not physiotherapy. It is just a dry needle, and it should be used as a part of the treatment protocol, not as the treatment protocol. So as the name suggests, superficial dry needling, we basically use the needles. We just use the tip of the needle to insert it in the dermatomes. We basically stimulate the dermatomes. In deep dry needling, we basically target the trigger points inside a muscle. And in facial dry needling, we try to, break the adhesions of the fascia. So what are the myofascial? I'm really sorry because I'm using my mobile. That's why there's some pictures are not there. So what are the myofascial trigger point? It's very the statement itself tell you what are myofascial trigger points. So these are hyper irritable spots. Hyper irritable spots means they are hyper irritable. Means if I have to do something, like if I have to give a stimulus, if I have given a stimulus to a part, it will give some symptoms. So if they are giving more symptoms than the threshold then required, that is called as a hyper irritable spot present in skeletal muscles. So very important point that what people do, they just palpate anywhere and they'll say, okay, this is hurting, okay, this is a trigger point. No, there has to be hyper irritable spot. It has to be in a skeletal muscles. That means your palpation should be at par, associated with hypersensitive palpable nodule. Hypersensitive means with low pressure, you get more sensitivity. This is very important. With low pressure, you get more sensitivity. Nodule in a taut band. What do you mean by taut band? Taut band means any fiber in the body, it can be anything. So I think you must have learned about taut band in ligaments. We keep them in a taut position, right? So in response to the muscles, what are taut band? Taut bands are the muscle fibers which are at maximum tension at rest. So try to understand. Muscle is at rest, still that fiber is under maximum tension, right? So you know that there is something called a length tension relationship. To have the proper strength, you should have a proper length. So if the muscle is already into muscle already have taut bands, they are still in tension at rest, that means the performance will be less, performance will be low. So there is no performance, the performance is less, the muscle gonna go into fatigue faster. If the muscle is going to go in fatigue faster, that means your performance will decrease. So performance can decrease means the person, you can, how you call something as a performance. So for a patient of frozen shoulder or periarthritic shoulder, if his shoulder is not abducting, that is a change in the performance. Performance doesn't mean only for the sports people, anyone. If you're not able to do your ADLs as you used to do, this is called as a problem in the performance. I think I'm now audible and everybody can listen to me, sir. Okay. Sir? Jakrit sir, are you there? Yes, so because I'm blinding, anyone there, please just respond. Everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, sir, actually I'm talking to a mobile, so just I want some feedback from your side as well.
Sure, sir, sure, sir.
Okay, thank you. So what are the different characteristics of of the trigger point? So they are palpated as bands, they are palpated as sausages in muscle. They are always secondary to primary dysfunction. This is very important point to understand. It's nothing like you're sitting in a posture, you're working on your laptop, and suddenly the trigger point will appear. So there has to be a primary cause. Why I'm concentrating more on the primary cause? Because maybe you are able to treat the trigger point, but unless you treat the primary dysfunction, the problem is not solved. That's why I'm calling it as it's not a treatment. So for rehabilitating a treatment, you need to take care of the primary dysfunction. So because there is shortening of the muscle, there are presence of the taut band, muscle is in a contracted stage, there will be reduction in the circulation, which in later stages gonna lead to ischemic changes in a muscle. So you're gonna have ischemic changes in the muscle, you're gonna have dead muscle, then there will be fibrosis, there can be calcification. That means the muscle will start losing its integrity. So it's very important point to understand that why we need to treat these trigger points or any myofascial issues. And the fourth point, I think this is the gist of everything, the biomechanics that typically develop in muscles that are overloaded. So what do you mean by overloaded? Overloaded means beyond the capacity of the muscle. Means suppose we say that a person is conditioned. Conditions mean if a person is conditioned, mean I am conditioned to walk for 2 kilometers. That is my conditioning. So what is my overload? There are two types of overload we use. One is called as optimum overload, one is called as overload. Optimum overload is maybe you're going to increase my distance from 2 kilometers to 2.5 kilometers. That means my body will be using its reserve into a normal category optimally. There will be no chances of getting injuries. But if you are doing something called as overload, that means you are not prescribing me this exercises as we should. If you have not read the Dina Gardner, if you don't know the repeated maximum formula, you don't know how to prescribe aerobics exercise or strength training PREs. So that means you are overloading me. That will cause injuries. So there can be mechanical overload. Okay, you have given me, I was able to lift 5 kgs. You say that, okay, lift 10 kgs today. No, you have not checked how much kgs will be sufficient for me to have an optimum overload. This is called as a mechanical overuse. Mechanical overuse means the muscle will be under tension and there will be it will go into fatigue faster. Next is called as neurological overuse. So what is a neurological overuse? Simply, if you take a case of hemiplegia, there is a problem in the brain, there is damage of the brain tissue, and there is no check on what spinal cord is giving the signals, right? So in that case, what's going to happen is there will be increased sensation or increased what we say the pulses from the nerves, which gonna ask the muscle to contract much more than required. It's gonna be a neurological overuse. Next is called as a protective overuse. What we see in basically postures. So what happens, like because of the posture, one side of the muscle, the agonist may become shortened, the antagonist may become shortened, the other muscle will become lengthened. So there will be a disturbance in the balance. So what will come into picture? The synergist will come into picture. They gonna go into tightness. The best example for the synergist For neck pains, trapezius muscle, upper trapezius, trapezitis, the most common thing because of the posture. So my aim is not to treat the trapezius. My aim is to make the balance between agonist and the antagonist, and the synergists will be better themselves. It's very important to understand why this is happening, how this is happening, right? So you can see, like, I don't know it's very visible or not. So this is a basically ultrasound of trigger points. So if you have an ultrasonologist in your hospital or nearby place, you can go, you can refer the patient to the ultrasonologist. He will tell you that there are something called as hypoechoic spots. Hypoechoic spots mean there will be black hole inside the muscle. It will look like a black hole on ultrasound, and that will absorb more of the ultrasound. It's not echoing it back. That will look at a black hole. So that these are called as basically the trigger points. So what are the symptoms basically? So they will be dull and constantly aching. Patient will come to you that it is paining, okay, but it is dull, it is continuous, it is, there is limitation of marcation of the pain. Locally tender, if you touch that, you check the scales of tenderness, there will be local tenderness. It will give local twitch response. You know that what is local twitch response? Basically like an involuntary withdrawal reflex. So involuntary withdrawal reflex is in the whole limb, and local twitch response in a muscle fiber. So there is only the differences where they are present. Now, because these are trigger points, they're gonna tighten the muscle gonna be taut. So what's gonna happen with that? They may report paresthesia, because the trigger point gonna shorten the muscle gonna entrap the nerve gonna give you paresthesia. There will be changes in sensation. So you need not to do anything with the nerve. You need not to do anything with the muscle. You need to treat the trigger point. And why the trigger point is there? Maybe because of the posture, maybe because of dehydration, maybe because of lack of B12, vitamin B12, lack of vitamin D3. There are a lot of things what can make a trigger point. Even the stress, I think the commonest thing what everybody is suffering is the stress. Like first, initially we were suffering from stress of going to the clinic, then seeing the patients are not there, they are not getting good response, they're not getting good results. Now we have a tension that when we will go to the clinics, how we will manage the rents and everything. So stress also make you more vulnerable to have trigger points. The commonest trigger point you can see is on the temporal muscle that is just above the ear, and it's going to give you frontal headaches. So the patient will always say we have frontal headaches and problem in sleeping. Then you can have characterized referred pain. You can have characterized referred pain as demonstrated by prevalent female. So what is a referred pain? Referred pain is basically called as convergence. This referred pain is through the convergence in the projection theory, that maybe the pain is coming from. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll just start from the symptoms again. So dull constantly aching means, I'm really sorry guys if I was too fast, because it's difficult to talk to a mobile, and mobile is not responding at all, yes or no. So what are the symptoms of trigger points? So the symptoms of the trigger points are basically dull and constantly aching. What do you mean by dull constant aching? Is the patient will say there is pain, continuous pain, but it is not demarcated. There is no demarcation of the pain. It is more like spreading kind of pain. Second point is locally tender. That means when you touch at a point, it will have tenderness. So this is very important point. Local tender, dull constant. When you have all these things, then we will categorize them as trigger points. And what is LTR? LTR is basically an involuntary response of the body. Involuntary response of the body, which basically means like you have a withdrawal reflex, you touch something hot and involuntarily your hand will go back. So this happens in a muscle fiber. So when you touch a needle or you stimulate a muscle which has trigger point, it gonna do LTR, it gonna twitch. So it is actually a good response to confirm that is it a trigger point or something else, because anything which is painful on touching is tender point. But when these tender points are present in skeletal muscles, when these tender points are present in skeletal muscles, they are called as trigger points. So they may report paresthesia, because whenever you have a trigger inside a muscle, the muscle will be short, the muscle will be taut, the fibers will be taut. When the fibers are taut, they can, if because of the course of the nerve, they can entrap a nerve, right? Yeah, like you have pronator teres syndrome, you have piriformis syndrome, right? So what you need to do, you need not to do anything for the nerve. You need not to do anything for the muscle. It's better to treat a trigger point directly. And next point will be the characteristic referred pain. What is characteristic referred pain? The referred pain is basically demonstrated by something called as convergence projection theory, which says that maybe a myotome is affected, and maybe suppose we'll say C3 C4, there is a problem in C3 C4 myotome, then muscle have a trigger point, then the message gonna come from C3 C4 to the spinal cord through the sensory fibers. So what's going to happen at the spinal cord when this message is relayed back to the myotome? Now the problem is spinal cord is one. So when it's going to transfer back, C3 going to make a route with C2, C4 going to make a route with C5. But the pain can be felt, which is called as a referred pain from C2 to C4 or C5. And we have seen that it can go level up and level down. So it was demonstrated by Travels and Simmons. Again, I'll tell you that you can go to Google, you can download the referral pain chart of trigger points. They have given that which trigger point coincide to which area of pain. So when the patient comes to you, suppose of a radiculopathy, patient says that I have pain in the lateral side of my arm, forearm, and thumb. So you need to think that, okay, I need to do differential diagnosis. So in your differential diagnosis, including TOS, including spondylolisthesis, including PIVDs, everything, you should also include trigger points, because trigger points can refer the pain as nerve. Trigger points can refer pain as a muscle pain. Trigger points can refer pain as burning sensation. So you need to add this into your protocol to understand how you're going to diagnose and how you're going to assess, then how you're going to treat. So make a hypothesis before going to any conclusion. Now, because the muscles are affected directly, there will be muscle weakness and there will be loss of range of motion and coordination. So basically the patient is coming to us for loss of range of motion, maybe loss of coordination, maybe loss of performance, maybe lack of performance, maybe the performance is not increasing at all, right? So the reason will be muscle weakness. The reason of the muscle weakness can be a neuropathy. A problem with the muscle weakness can be a nutritional problem, can be a trigger point presence. So you need to find out the correct, hypothesis. You have to make a correct hypothesis. Then only you'll go to the treatment part. So this is basically, I've shown you one muscle that this is a what we say gastrocnemius muscle. So you can see that in the first image there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower limb you can see. So in the first image the muscle is there. So the trigger points are basically, you can see 2 dots in the first figure where you can see the muscle. 2 dots are there, 4 dots are there, 2 on either side of the muscle. So these are basically the trigger point. They have shown that suppose the trigger points are there, so where they can refer the pain. The problem is in the upper part of the gastrocnemius medial head and the lateral head. But the pain referral for the second image, if you can see, it is on the foot, which will mimic plantar fasciitis. So if I have a patient where the patient says pain at this area, medial aspect of the foot, that doesn't mean the patient will have plantar fasciitis. So you need to differentially diagnose and come to a conclusion that what it is. Then you can see the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So these are basically giving you posterior knee pains, posterior leg pain. So the patient is coming with a posterior leg pain. It doesn't mean the patient have a arthritic problem, right? They may have, they may not have, but still there is again inclusion in the diagnostic criteria, including in your differential diagnosis, that this is very important to see and check. Next, the soleus, you can see that in the last right side figure, there are 3 trigger points shown for the soleus, and see the second last image. The pain referral is on the iliac crest, oh, sorry, not on the iliac crest, the SI joint. Second thing, the back of the leg. Third, see the heel pain. So simple example of soleus pain, you go to a mall, you walk in a mall for some longer time, then when you come back home, you'll have heel pains. So basically you don't have any problem with the heel. It's just because the muscle was not, competent enough, the muscle was not trained enough for you to walk so much. That's why muscle is in spasm. They have developed some soreness, and now there can be development of trigger point. There can be stimulation of the satellite or inactive trigger points, which are giving you the pain in the heel. So it's very important for you as a differential diagnosis purpose. So how does it work? very fast. I'm gonna finish this. So first, it has some mechanical. Dry needling has some mechanical effects. What are the mechanical effects? So basically, what happened? We say that there is problem in the neuromuscular junction or the motor end plate. That there is a chemical called as acetylcholine. Everybody knows the neurotransmitter. So there can be excess release of acetylcholine. There can be less release of acetylcholine. Both of them are not good for the muscle, which can in result form trigger points in the muscle. So we have seen that this is by research, and I have given the link of the research as well, that when you do dry needling, it basically mechanically disrupt a dysfunctional motor end plate. And it takes around 7 days, 3 days of inflammation, 4 days of healing, 7 days for a normal neuromuscular junction to be formed. That means we are back, giving back a normal neuromuscular junction, which will have good and normal amount of release of acetylcholine. Next, neurophysiological effects given by Dr. Peter Baldry in 2001. What they say is it's like something different what we have been taught. Like every time if you ask a physiotherapist how TENS work, one answer, pain gate mechanism. Second thing, how heat works, pain gate mechanism. Now, how vibration works, pain gate mechanism. So everything comes to pain gate mechanism, but here we are not using pain gate as such. We are using pain to kill pain. So if you know that there is something called as A delta fibers. So what are A delta? The A delta are pain, sharp shooting, acute pain carrying fibers. I'll again repeat, sharp shooting, acute pain carrying fibers, which in turn, when you get injury, they can go in the higher centers in the midbrain called as PAG, pre-aqueductal gray, which is a opioid factory of the body. So when you stimulate A delta, they stimulate PAG or pre-aqueductal gray, which in turn release your opioids, endogenous opioids. So we will have peripheral opioids, we'll have centrally acting opioid. The peripherally acting opioid gonna block the pain sensation in the periphery where the injury is. And the best of this is centrally acting opioid. So centrally acting opioid gonna hit your brain and make you numb. That's why, because of this effect, the dry needling should be taken very seriously when you are using it on patient, because it can cause low blood pressures. It can cause, dependency on dry needling, because patient know what he's getting after getting dry needling. That mental aura they get, that the relaxation they get, the sleep they get for 18 hours or 20 hours, that make them dependent on dry needling. We don't have needles. Huh? Okay, so what are the chemical effects we are seeing? So Shah et al. 2001 demonstrated increased level of various chemicals as sensitized motor input. What are these chemicals? These are basically inflammatory substances: bradykinin, substance P, CGRP, and these chemicals were reduced immediately post LTR, that is local twist response, after the needling. So what is CGRP? It's a very important, it's a precursor of calcium and phosphate balance. So CGRP, the normal CGRP at motor end plate will guide normal release, the normal flow of calcium and phosphate inside a muscle. ATP is required, calcium is required, right? So these are very important things. But at the site of trigger point, these all their chemicals are at the higher level. So what they have seen that Shah et al. That at this site there is decrease of CGRP, and it helps to reduce all the inflammatory substances, including CGRP, to its normal level. So what are the contraindications? Very important to understand contraindications. First is denial of consent. Second is patient's needle phobia. So patient is not giving you consent. So let me tell you very frankly that this is not a contraindication to dry needling. This is contraindication to anything you do on patient. Starting from your assessment to your treatment, the consent should be taken as per the law. But we don't follow that rule, but it should be done because it's going to save you a lot. Next is the patient needle phobia. Suppose patient is phobic to needles. You're saying, no, today I'm going to do needles. So don't do needles if the patient is phobic, right? Patient unwilling. Patient is saying that, okay, can you try something else instead of dry needling? Yes, you can try something else. You have many things to try except dry needling. If the patient is having acute infection fever, patient is having lymphedema, patient is having psychiatric disease, patient with epilepsy. So Epilepsy is basically I'll say a relative contraindication. If the patient was epileptic in the childhood, now he's not epileptic, everything is clear, you can surely go with that. Again, the diabetes part, diabetes, if the patient has controlled diabetes is a problem. Okay, so with medication is control, good to go. If it is uncontrolled with medication also, not to do. Compromised immune system, already the immune system is compromised and you're putting something, foreign object inside the body, it may cause a problem, right? Next, the malignant tumor, there can be a malignancy. So if the malignancy is there, don't do it. Yes, post cancerous stage, when the malignancy is not there, you are good to go with this. Bleeding disorders or on anticoagulants, if the patient have some bleeding disorder or on anticoagulant, please, whenever patient, nowadays everybody is, most of the people are on anticoagulant, please get their BT, CT, PTNR done. Very important that you should check their prothrombin time, their BT, that is bleeding time, clotting time. Once it is okay with medication, please, you can go. But without that, don't try to be, superhero with the needles. Directly over joint replacement. Don't hit any joint replacement or breast implant with a needle. So what are the explanation to the patients we need to give? It's very important that patients should understand what gonna happen now, what we're gonna use, how it gonna work, what will be the symptoms, what may be the complications after the treatment, and what is the post-treatment advice. So you're gonna explain what is a procedure. Then you're gonna inform that we'll be using sterile, single-use, disposable needle. Open the packet in front of the needle. I'm really sorry, I don't have needles right now here, or else I must have shown you this, how to do it. A brief explanation of how dry needling works. Transient symptoms during or after the treatment, maybe the patient have pain, there can be a bruise, patient will feel more sleepy, patient can have mild headaches, patient will feel mid drowsy. So these are the things patient should be told before the session. It's not like after the session you're telling, oh, it's all right. No, the patient was not prepared for that. So you need to prepare the patient before doing anything on the patient. And then the post-treatment advice, what you need to do after the treatment. Very important for me, this slide, that what it takes to learn dry needling and practice dry needling. So I'll say 25% is the skill of dry needle and 75% is the knowledge of anatomy, the palpation skill and selection of patient. So I always say in dry needling, I don't choose dry needling for patients. I choose patient for dry needling. It's something like a brahmastra for me. That is the last resort for me in my clinical practice to use dry needling. Nothing is working, take the needle out. Nothing is working in an ethical and a proper sense. It's nothing like one sitting you have given, patient is saying, oh, I'm not getting result. Okay, let me try dry needling. No, it should be the last resort. It is very skilled technique. Don't waste your skill on, where you can gain results by normal things. So it should be used as a skill. Skill is very important here. So these are some equipments you need. You need some different types of needles. You need gloves. You need cotton. You need alcohol swabs. You need spirit just to clean the part. You need your kidney tray just in case you want to put the needles. And then you need a highly skilled therapist, a well ventilated room, a couch that is like you can go around the couch, a patient, and your skill. Then you're good to go with your treatment session. And consent is must. Consent. Very important point. So what are the financial burden? Sorry, I didn't knew that other people will be joining this, so I've kept it in Indian rupees. So you can, the members, the delegates from other countries also, they can, change it from your currency. So cost per sitting, depending, I have taken tier 3 cities to metros. One sitting, I'm not including physiotherapy cost in that. That is the normal day-to-day treatment I'm giving to that patient. No, these are exclusive charges. That's why I'm calling it as a super skill. So charge your skill. That is how professional works, right? Don't include it in the package. It's not package. It's a skill. So cost per sitting range from 300 to 3,000 bucks to 5,000. I've seen people taking 5,000 bucks also for a single needle session, right? The thing is that we don't ask. Patients are ready to give. Try to ask. If you have a clinic nearby, a new clinic open, don't reduce your charges. Double your charges so that people should understand what is the difference between a Maruti 800 and a Mercedes. Cost per needle ranges from 2 to 4 rupees per needle. I'm talking about one needle, 2 to 4 rupees. Average number of needle used per session will be 1 to 10 bucks. So hardly your session gonna cost you 50 rupees. Suppose I'm using consumable also, make 10 more, 60 rupees. 60 rupees, you're taking 300 to 3,000 bucks. It is a good financial conversion in a single shot. But yes, it is cheap, effective, and reliable. But you need to be very cautious. You need to decide what you're doing. Just don't do everything haphazardly. So I'm ready with the questions, any comments, and always with the rotten tomatoes. Just a sec, let me come back to. So can you see my screen now, where I am? Okay, fine.
We can see the screen, but we can't see you. Yeah, now we can.
Now we can.
Yes, sir. Now we can see.
Okay, I'm really sorry, sir. I'm really sorry, sir. I didn't have that needles with me. So if you want, everybody want that, I have that on my YouTube channel if somebody want to see. You want me to play it in my laptop and I'll show you on my laptop? Sir?
Sir, we'll share your YouTube channel to the students, sir.
No issues. If you want, I can send you the video. You can upload in your channel as well. No issues.
Sure,
because
sir.
I think everybody is over there also.
We'll do that.
Okay,
sir.
so yeah, I'm done with my presentation. So, sir, I'm really open for any questions regarding dry needling, and I want to be a good session. So please, if you have any doubts, any questions anybody have, or if you want to wish me belated happy birthday, you all are welcome to do that.
Monica, can you ask the question?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Sir, I would like to ask, if we are performing dry needling for a trigger point, can we stimulate 2 or 3 points at a single time for the patient?
Yes, ma'am. You could, ma'am, see, it's something like, the dosage, when we talk about the dosage of dry needling, it is very subjective thing to talk. Means how much to give, how many you can take. So it basically depends on your patient, right? Suppose a patient who, okay. Okay. Suppose a patient is there, with some of the predisposing factors. So there the dosage will be less. So we basically work according to the patient. Yes, at a time, 2-3 trigger points are dealt with. When you are doing deep dry needling, the dosage is on that single trigger point. The dosage will be after 1 week. Yes, next after 3 days you can do on another trigger point. Okay, another muscle. Okay, but at that same trigger point after 1 week, yes, at a time you can take 2-3 trigger points, 2-3 muscles, but taking care of pain, sensitivity, soreness, patient attitude, patient psychology, everything into picture, because we want patient to,
How to counsel the patient for the same?
Ma'am, you need not to counsel the problem. See, the problem is the problem.
Exactly.
I'll tell you one. See, I think this was Dr. Harsh Adip's question. It should be. You see, you need not to counsel, because see, do you counsel your patient to give ultrasound as well?
No, not as such, because they are much aware in every physiotherapy department. They are taking ultrasound and all. It's a different technique.
Yes, ma'am. That is what I was going to say, that because they are aware. The problem with the patient is we introduce something new. We are not making patient aware of that. You just make them aware, show them some videos, show them how it works, try to do it on yourself. Then the patient will, when the patient will, that's why I'm telling you, use it as a last resort. Suppose I'll quote a very simple example, I'll tell you. If a sports person, I'll quote an example of my patient, a sports person, came to me that he was suffering from a muscle pull, groin pull, adductor muscle from past 15 days. He has taken everything, and he has taken treatment from me for 4 days. Now I asked him, brother, because you are a player, now the problem is not getting sorted out. So what you say? So say, sir, I just needed to get sorted out. So then I introduced something called as dry needling to him. So he understood, okay, sir, how it will work. So I showed him some videos, I showed him some text. Then I told him, see, the complication can be there, this can be there, that can be there, but it's gonna be effective for you, because I have been through your phase, I've been through your assessment, I've been through your diagnosis, I've been through your treatment. Now I came to a conclusion that it has to be done. So it is something like this. Orthopedician people says that, okay, now there is a time to do surgery, right? So this is your surgical intervention. So you need to counsel. You need not to counsel. You just a simple example. If you go to orthopedician, will orthopedician ask you, do you need surgery or not? No.
Yeah.
They will prescribe, right?
Yeah.
They will never ask. That's
Sir,
what
actually, I'm having lots of patients who are having plantar fasciitis pain, and they have taken treatment from the most of the renowned physiotherapy centers also. As you were teaching, this could be the reason of gastrocnemius. That's why I'm asking, so what could be the treatment for the same? Because, and sir, I would like to know, what is ultrashock wave therapy? Are you aware of this also?
Ma'am, which one? Shockwave therapy.
Yeah, ultra shockwave therapy.
The shockwave therapy, ma'am. Basically, they are using. This is not related to dry needling, but just because you have asked the question, basically they have that. What we say, they have waves. Just like in ultrasound, you're using sound waves, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then they have an equipment where they basically gives a wave of force of a specific wavelength, and they say that it basically break down the adhesions in the joint, right? They break down the osteophytes in the joint, and they have certain disease. And I'll tell you that in India, it was introduced, I think, 5 or 10 years back, and it has not found any place in Indian physiotherapy protocol right now.
Actually, one of my patients had taken the treatment of the same in the Bangalore itself. And he said, I was suffering from the plantar fasciitis from 15 years. And now after 7 sessions, I am perfectly okay. That's why I'm asking you, what's the new treatment is this?
No, it's not a new. See, ma'am, I'll tell you very frankly, the problem is you are going towards the new treatment. What we want to say, you go to a reliable assessment. It was not the magic of shockwave. It was not the magic of the needle. It was the magic of assessment. You know that why the problem is there. Is it really that plantar fasciitis was there?
So how to
First of all,
differentiate for the same?
Ma'am, this is called as differential diagnosis. I'll tell you, well, I can't tell everything on webinar. You can have my number, you can have my email ID. Maybe we can discuss over that. But I'll tell you one simple thing, an example. You have Amazon Prime with you, video app, Amazon Prime. Usme, there is a show called as Dr. House MD.
Okay.
You just start watching that show. It was very boring show about a doctor. Just finish first season. Okay, just finish first season, and after that, call me and thank me. That's it. That is my answer.
Okay, sir.
That is how I changed. That is how I changed my practice.
Okay, sir. Sir, share your number with me. Then
Sure. You can take it from Jakrit, sir. No issues, and you can Google me. No issues.
Sir.
Sir.
Yeah, we have another question from Pooja Priyadarshini. Pooja, you are online. You can ask.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, can you just repeat that A delta nerve you were telling about, that sharp shooting one?
So when we talk about pain, so there are two types of fiber which carries your pain. One is C fibers, one are A delta fibers, and then you have A beta fibers which carries everything except pain. That we know that is like C, A delta, A beta. So when we insert a needle, basically what we are doing, we are giving a injury to the skin. This is called as a superficial injury. So when you're giving an injury, what will happen? It is a sharp shooting kind of pain. So when you have sharp shooting kind of pain, it's gonna stimulate A delta. A delta will go towards the spinal cord in the higher center and stimulate pre-aqueductal gray, which in turn will release opioids. And everybody knows that opioid will help in relieving the pain. But this effect is only till 48 to 72 hours. So this is a short-term goal or short-term effect of dry needling on pain through A delta fibers.
Okay, sir. That's it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure. Sir, please, sir.
Yes, sir. We have one question from YouTube user. She is Sakshi Bundela. She asked, how effective is the dry needling as compared to digital ischemic pressure, foam rolling, and constant myofascial
release? Okay. So it's something like I already told you that dry needling should be the last resort first. It is highly effective because it's a single shot. Like for ischemic compression, you have to give 90-second hold. You have to repeat 4 to 5 times. Then after every 3 days, you need to repeat it for 5 to 6 settings. Whereas when you are doing dry needling, first session, if your diagnosis is perfect, your palpation is perfect, your treatment, that work of dry needle is done, the trigger point is gone. You need not to repeat it again and again on that single trigger point. So it is faster. It is effective with some complication. Yes, if you don't think about that, it is very nice and it is above these kind of therapies. But you always start with your manual therapy, and if it is not working, it is not giving symptom because of the patient condition, then you go to dry needle.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have another question from Shabnur Ahmadud. He's from Mauritius. And he's asking, here in Mauritius, dry needling is not a very common practice in physiotherapy. However, those physiotherapists who are using this technique they are getting a very good response compared to the modalities, recovering very fast within 2 to 3 sittings. So he's asking, how can this dry needling be so perfect? This is
Okay,
what
so
I'm asking.
see, I'll tell you. This is being a physiotherapist. I'll tell this. I'll answer this not as a needling expert. See, if you're using a good modality at a perfect place with a good diagnosis and assessment, it will work as good as dry needling. If you work with manual therapy, with good assessment, with good diagnosis, when you know where to apply, how to apply, what to apply, with good relevant exercise prescription, it will work as good as dry needling therapy. So we are not here to demote what we have. We are here to add in our clinical practice, not to omit anything. That is my answer to you guys.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have one more question from. I'll just add. Okay, so here is Sushmita. She wants to ask a question. Sushmita, you are there. You can ask question.
Yes, yes. Sir, first of all, deleted happy birthday wishes to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And my question is dry needling painful to the patient? And is there any risks of infection?
Okay.
Like any side effects?
Okay, ma'am, this is a three-part question. So let us start with the pain. Yes, if the patient is apprehensive, there will be pain. If you hit a artery or any structure like trigger point, it will be painful. But because we have already told the patient and we have given a tri ball to the patient on his hand, it will become less painful. The second sitting will be less painful because the patient will be well relaxed. That is very important. And the second part of the question was?
Is there any infections and side effects?
So, ma'am, if you are using good needle, we use good sterile single time use needle. Means you take a needle,
okay,
open the packet, put the needle inside, take it out, throw it. Matlab discard it properly with biomedical waste. No chances of infection, right? You just clean the treatment part, wash your hands properly wear the gloves. If you're maintaining all the hygienic, as per the WHO, you're following all the protocol, there are no chances of infection. The next other, you said some
side effects.
Last question was
side effects.
Oh, side effects. I'll not say. So I'll not say side effects. I'll say the reactions will be there. Like there can be pain. There can be what we say spasm of the muscle for longer. Soreness, yes, spasm or soreness, DOMS kind of thing. There can be mild fever also to the patient because something external has been added, and there can be inflammation and mild fever to the patient. There can be emotional discharge to the patient. I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of emotional things happening. Patient have become violent. Patient have loved. Patient have cried. Patient have thrown my laptops. Various you can ask, you can go to my Facebook or you can go to my Instagram. You can ask my students how they have behaved. One girl, I'll tell you a simple example. She was not able to remember half day of her life after doing dry needling. Next day she came to me, sir, I don't remember my life, what happened the last day. So there can be multiple things. That's why I'm saying choose patient for needle. Don't choose needle for patients. It's very important to understand all the aspects.
Yes.
Sir, we have another question from Jagdish Jaiswal. Dr. Jagdish Jaiswal is asking a question. He is asking how effective is dry needling in neuropathic pain?
Sir, he is online. Can I talk to him?
Sir, he's not online. He's writing down the questions. I have asked him to be online, but he's not there. Sir.
जगदीश सर नाराज है हमसे बात भी नहीं करना चाहते अभी ना. चलो neuropathic pain. Sir, normally we don't give needling for neuropathic pains because there's already a sensory deficit in the patient, so we don't prescribe. Yes, but we have seen that there are 2-3 researchers which say that if you give superficial needling along the path of the nerve, superficial dermatomal needling along the path of the nerve, they may help in relieving the neuropathic pain, but still there is problem in the research that it has not been established properly.
Okay, sir.
So just can I have a second, please?
Please.
Okay. Sorry, sir. I'm really sorry for that.
No problem, sir. Sir, we have another question from Nayaka Adhikari, if she is there.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Good evening, sir, and belated birthday wishes to you firstly.
Thank you, ma'am.
So my question is like for condition, for example, if I consider plantar fasciitis, there are various methods which that condition can be treated. So how do we decide what's best for that patient? Like how should our plan of care progress here? Like,
Okay, ma'am. First of a thing, by your voice, I can tell you are an experienced person. I'll tell you. I'll just share one thing. That 5 years back, when you used to get any prescription, right, from the orthopedician, they used to write cervical spondylitis. Do you remember that? Nowadays, they write neck pain. So there is a reason why they write neck pain right now, because they understand that, and we should understand that there can't be only one problem with the patient. Okay, maybe it is true plantar fasciitis, but what is the cause of plantar fasciitis? The plantar fascia, why it happens? Excessive stretching of plantar fascia. I'm just trying to, make the base. So what is excessive plantar fascia stretch? Plantar fascia is meant to be stretched, but at rest, it is already into a stretch position because of the position of the calcaneum. Why the calcaneum position is such? Because of the change in the biomechanical pull of the gastrocnemius. Why it can be there? It can be there because of the weak quadriceps, right? So the problem can lie above also for plantar fasciitis. So you need to target each and every structure. As a physiotherapy, don't target, that is my request. Don't target the problem. Don't target the condition, target structures. So when you target the structures, you will be able to find what is the structure, to the point treatment, and you know which structure will be healed best with which modality. Muscle, for trigger point, needling. Muscle, for trigger point, after needling, give ultrasound therapy. For pain, tense. For joint, give mobilization. For restriction of joint, you can manipulate, right? So when you talk about structures, easy to understand. When you talk about a condition, difficult to explain also. Ma'am?
Okay, sir. Sir, we have another question from Sanjoli. Sanjoli Sachdeva. She is asking how careful we should be using dry needling for the diabetic patients.
So the diabetes, I have already, in my slide, I have told you that diabetes, if it is, the person is on medication controlled, good to go. On medication control, good to go. If the patient diabetes is not getting controlled, it is fluctuating still with medicines, please, I will never recommend you to do dry needling.
Okay, sir. We have one more question, sir. Parv Jain is here. I am asking him to ask a question. Parv, you can ask the question.
Yes, sir. Sir, can we apply over the joint also?
Means you want to hit the joint?
No, around the joint structures.
See, wherever there is skin, wherever there are muscles, you can good to go. You are not doing anything intra-articular. So till your needle is outside the joint, we have no issues with that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, please.
Sir, we have one more question from an anonymous name 241581. I'm asking him to please.
241581.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, yes, please.
Yes, please mention your name first.
Yeah, myself, Gita Grewal. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, myself, Gita Grewal. You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Please ask the questions.
या सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे कोई पेशेंट आता है ड्राई नीडलिंग के लिए, तो हम उसको एक्सप्लेन, जैसे हमें फिजियोलॉजी पता है कि ड्राई नीडलिंग ये इफेक्ट करती है, बट उनको वो पूछते हैं डिटेल में कि ये कैसे इफेक्ट करता है, मतलब हम उनको कैसे एक्सप्लेन करें कि ये मतलब ड्राई नीडलिंग से इफेक्ट आएंगे।
मैम फिर मतलब ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर मैं पहले भी दिया, मैं दोबारा भी देता हूँ आपको। देखिए मैं पहली चीज है एक्सप्लेनेशन ये करना है कि ये बाकी जो आपने चीजें दी हैं उससे बेटर कैसे है, राइट। सो पहली बात तो आप उसको एज अ फर्स्ट रिजॉर्ट आप यूज ही नहीं कर रहे, आप उसको लास्ट रिजॉर्ट में यूज कर रहे हो कि मुझे ये लास्ट चीज को यूज करना है। दूसरा, पेशेंट को आपको समझाना नहीं होता, आपको पेशेंट को बताना होता है। ये है प्रोफेशनल वे ऑफ टॉकिंग टू अ पेशेंट। मींस हम पेशेंट से कैसे पूछते हैं, एक ड्राई नीडलिंग आई है, बहुत अच्छी चीज है, बहुत इफेक्टिव है, क्या आपको करे। और एक तरीका होता है बात करने का कि ओके सी ड्राई नीडलिंग है, इससे आपको इफेक्ट आएगा, ये बहुत अच्छा एक प्रोटोकॉल है, हमें लगता है कि ये करनी चाहिए। तो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन टॉकिंग फर्स्ट। Second thing, you have to show them something out of it. आप मसल का चार्ट दिखाओ उनको मसल में कहाँ पे ट्रिगर पॉइंट है, पैल्पेट करो उस ट्रिगर पॉइंट को, दबा के दिखाओ उसको कि हाँ ये ट्रिगर पॉइंट देखो दबा रहा है तो ये पेन आगे रेडिएट कर रहा है। अब इसको ठीक करने का तरीका है ड्राई नीडलिंग, क्योंकि इसको अगर हम एक सिटिंग में ठीक नहीं करेंगे तो मे बी ये ठीक होगा, इट विल गोना टेक 4 to 5 to 7 सिटिंग्स। तो जब आप पेशेंट को उसके तरीके से समझाएंगे कि पेशेंट विल बी रिलेटिंग समथिंग टू पेन, टू मनी एंड टाइम. So if you can cater all these aspects, there is no problem with the patient to do the dry needling. Rest everything is fine.
Okay, sir. We have one more question from Rita Sharma. Rita Sharma, if she is here, she can ask. Okay, we have the Soumya Bhattacharya. She is asking a question.
Hello.
Yes, please, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Jain.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Belated happy birthday to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I have basically 3 questions for you. Like the first one is the size of the needles. If it is a very big muscle like quads or hamstring, there the size of the needle will be different, and something like lower back, the size of the needle will be different. So is it like this, or what you recommend?
Sir, exactly like this, and I'll recommend one thing more, that yes, the size of the patient, the size of the muscle, the position of the muscle, the depth of the muscle will play an important role. Okay, the size of the patient, the size of the muscle, the position of the muscle is going to play an important role while choosing the needle. Second thing, once you have reached the muscle, use the smallest needle to reach the muscle. Try to clear the muscle from the outside, then you go deeper, right? Because muscle will be huge, right? So you need to insert the muscle. Once you reach the needle, suppose you reach the needle with a 25 mm, just try to use this 25, then you take a 40 mm needle and go inside.
Okay.
Okay, so the size is very subjective. It should be with you and patient. What is, how you have reached the depth.
Okay. My second question is like, how many days gap should be given for this as per the sessions are concerned? We cannot give it regularly, I think.
Sir, the superficial dosage is every 3rd day. If you want to give brief dry needling for a specific trigger point is 7 days. Once in 7 days for a specific trigger point.
Superficial is every 3rd day.
Every 3rd day means weekly twice, and deep drying weekly once on a specific area or a specific trigger point.
Okay. And one last question for you, like I work for a football club, and there we get a lot of foreign players, and you are very keen to do this needling because it's very popular down there in Spain and Argentina, like those places. I basically don't do much about it because I have very limited knowledge over it. But I have a doubt, like if a muscle is injured, like if muscle got a strain, then when we palpate it, we can see a hard, soft tissue down there. And that can be a torn one also, that can be a strain one also, and that can be just a light spasm. So how I will recommend needle just to be sure whether I should go for it or not?
So see, simple thing is that first, what is the aim of giving needle here? So if the muscle is in, suppose the muscle got strained, there is a tearing of a muscle or there is a pull of a muscle. Simple thing I'm telling you. So there you require needling to reduce the spasm or to reduce the pain. First thing. You need not to do needle to release a trigger because there will be no trigger over there because it's a fresh injury. Yes, in due course of time, in due course of rehabilitation, maybe after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when the muscle has healed, now the trigger point will be there because the muscle was underused. Then the needling is advised for trigger point release to have a good biomechanical performance of the patient. It's important to understand why you are giving needling and what is the aim of needling or whatever modality you are giving.
Sir, thank you. We have one more question. Mona is there. If you like to ask a question.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I have 2-3 questions for you.
Please, please, please.
I want to know as the sir asked before, very in acute case में can we do dry needling? और अगर अपन हमें trigger point palpate करना है, तो muscle is in very great pain. So how can even if we palpate the trigger point, is it fine to do the needling at
Ma'am,
all?
see, we always say that see, trigger point will have tenderness. Muscle is injured; it is already too much tender, so you can't palpate. The point of palpation is gone.
Okay. So what do you prefer in that case?
Do use your police protocol, price protocol. Go with the basics. You need not to take out the needle for that.
Okay. If the patient wants immediate relief, just in one day.
Still, ma'am, we will not do anything which is unethical for the patient.
Okay, okay. Okay, so next question is that as per my protocol, we can't give exercises after needling for at least 24 hours.
Ma'am, basically, you don't give extraneous exercises for 48 to 72 hours during the time of inflammation, right? Extraneous exercise means you won't ask the patient to go to gym and do optimal loading wali exercises, PRE basically. But
if patient, yeah.
But
yes,
you will ask the patient to do normal stretching, normal range of motion, self mobilization, icing. These will be there. This has to do after the needling session.
Okay. If patient is a runner and he have to do the run next day, then what you will recommend?
Don't do dry needling.
Don't do dry needling. Okay. So one more question is that I usually felt that sometimes most of the cases the pain is gone on the after the dry needling, but in some cases I felt that after 2-3 days the pain again comes back. What may be the reason? Maybe that trigger point is not released properly, or like
yes, ma'am. These are called as reasons of failure. The problem is again, I'm very thankful to you that you are accepted that this is happening. People don't accept that. So
it is natural.
Yeah, this is natural. So this is like something is maybe we have treated a referred zone first. Second thing, we have not palpated the trigger point properly. Third is maybe the trigger point was not the reason for the problem. Next, we have palpated everything, we have diagnosed everything, but when we hit the trigger point, it was not hit at the right point. Because the chances of hitting a trigger point neuromuscular junction will be, in 10,000 to 1.
Okay.
So, treating a proper trigger point.
Exactly.
So there can, and last and very important is the predisposing factor. Please take care of the primary factors why the trigger point was there: vitamins, minerals, dehydration, mental status, psychology, movement patterns, their posture, everything should be dealt with. Then only you will have a good picture of the patient.
Yeah. So one more question.
Please,
it is like a little out of way, little commercial. Actually, you also told us about the prices of dry needling. So, sir, actually, I want to know when we are treating a patient and we are doing it in 1-2 sittings, trigger point we can release, and the patient got the relief immediately. Then we are charging for the 7 days regular physiotherapy, which we are giving manual therapy and myofascial release, whatever we are doing. So we just if we are earning for 7 days, we are earning 5,000. And when we are treating our dry needling patient, we are treating in a sitting. If we are charging 1,000 or 1,500 or 3,000. So, sir, commercially, what can be done in a perfect way, so that we should also be in loss, not in loss, and patient will also be get benefit.
See, patient will get benefited once. See, patient has paid you already 5,000. He want result. So adding $1,000 to save 5,000, adding $2,000 to save 5,000, he will do. So don't think about the patient in that sense. Simple thing. Suppose let's take an example for that. Very small example.
Yeah.
You are a lawyer. You are not a physiotherapist.
Yeah.
Okay. You are my lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I kill Dr. Jagpreet sir Abhi.
Okay.
In front of you. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Ma'am.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So if I kill him in front of you, will you fight for me in the court?
Yeah. No.
You will. As a lawyer, everybody will, ma'am. You are my lawyer.
If you are paying me.
Yes. Yeah, I'm paying you. I'm paying you. I'm paying you. I'm paying you. I am
Exactly.
paying you. I am paying you to fight my case, and maybe at the end of the day, will be hanged by neck.
Okay.
Still, from my family, you will charge no your professional
Yeah.
fees.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That is my
Yeah.
answer to you. Be a
No,
professional. Think. See,
yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Please. You're saying something. Then I'll.
Actually, I am not saying कि मैंने उसको 7 days treatment दिया है. The patient is coming to me and he is in subacute phase and he is saying कि I want to go with your previous protocol dry needling. It is very effective and I want to get rid of this pain in 2 days or 3 days. So then I am giving him the treatment for 3 days and I am charging him like 3,000 for 3 days. And with the other protocol, which our regular physiotherapy, which we are doing for 7 days or 10 days. So I am getting it at least 5,000 for that.
अपना 2000
Which is more commercial. Yeah, that's fine.
अपना 2000 I think you are from MP, if I'm not mistaken. अपन ऐसा करेंगे, right?
No, sir, I am from various places, MP, Rajasthan, and Noida.
चलो ठीक है मैम देखो इसका सिंपल सा आइडिया ये है कि इफ यू वांट टू सी दैट कमर्शियली आई विल गिव द पेशेंट ड्राई नीडलिंग ऑन द 5th day.
Hello.
Sir, I think ma'am has gone. But if you're listening, I'll give the dry needling to the patient on the 5th day, or else I will charge for the dry needling as much as I wanted to earn in 7 days.
Okay, sir. We have a last question from YouTube. She's Chandrika Devi. She is asking, sir, can we do exercise along with the dry needling?
Along means I didn't get this. Along means after dry needling.
Maybe she's asking after dry.
So after dry needling is done, the session is done. You can go for stretching, self mobilization exercises, basic mobility exercises, but not strenuous exercises. After 48 to 72 hours, you can go with anything you want.
Okay. So we end up the question answer session here. I think Rajiv sir, if he can hear us. Rajiv sir, if he is there. Okay. So, sir, thank you so much. It was a very good session with both of you. We would like to have one more session again with both of you because a lot of questions are still coming to me. And I would like to thank on behalf of Mansarovar Global University Department of Physiotherapy to both of you for giving us such a beneficial and beautiful session, sir. And mentioning me in such an example, like where you're killing me, sir.
Sir, I was just telling the example how to be professional. That's it. I did not.
I am always fan of your such examples, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Once again, we'll end up a session here, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so sir, I'll see you on Instagram after 5 minutes.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.